Hey guys, all right, we're live. Where the fuck do I begin? Personally, conservative lawyer, yeah, I agree. Primo was absolutely left out to dry. Dude faced what, at least 4 2-on-1s. It felt like. Um, Jesus Christ. Yeah, we don't know how to back check. We lost any and all defensive mindset when Kulak got scratched. Like Jesus. Jeff King, there's no way the Habs are making the playoffs. Literally no chance of it. Not just the conservative are exactly me too. We have to play better, man. We have to play better. Luca, no problem, man. Go watch your good team in the center is actually winning. Canucks game starting. Let's go, Soviet Union. Yeah, TBC, that playoff match isn't happening, unfortunately. Hamburger Man absolutely fucking fired Ducharme already. Eric Bischoff, how's it going, sir? How's it going, Mr. Bischoff? This on Monday. We'll be 2 points up on them with the game in hand. I don't see how we keep that spot. TBI, hey man, I can't blame you. Lucas C, we can say it was Byron, but yeah, Taps, I can't blame you for only watching that first. I thought we did good, but Jesus Christ, we were god awful. TBC, there's no guarantee. There's no guarantee the Leafs would have beaten the Habs. We're both fucking inconsistent. Hell yeah, Eric Bischoff. Hell yeah, it does. Yeah, Hamburger Man. Exactly. We look god awful. No energy, no motivation, no emotion, no fucking, no goddamn, no passion, no emotion. Pretty much, we just go out there, play, and then at the end of the game, just, oh hey, good job everybody. It's like. Fuck. Randy, how's it going, man? Thank you. Yeah, red jersey's been getting a little stinky. Hopefully that white jersey comes out and not just for the final game of the year. Hope he's been playing pretty well. Hey, thank you, Clifford. I appreciate it, man. But yeah, hope he's been playing pretty well, man. Yeah, rip the second round, Luca. Fucking Florida decided not to show up. Whoever said that Primo needed to start when we were holding Randy, well, that's the thing. Primo was great tonight, in my opinion. We left him out to dry. Like, Randy, you cannot blame Primo at all for the goals tonight. Like, first of all, the dude hadn't played in, 2 weeks because of the Laval shutdown, 2-3 weeks. So he played really good on top of that. But even then, fucking the goals he allowed were 2-on-1s, a screened goal, and he didn't even allow the fifth goal because it was an empty netter. Hey, Darkness, how's it going, man? Isaac, how's it going, sir? If we knew Ducharme would have brought this team, yeah, a Hamburger Man. I would have rather Claude Julien. Like, at least the dude has cup experience with the fucking. At least he has cup experience with the Bruins. I don't know if Florida's. I don't think Ottawa's eliminated yet. I think they're only 11 points out of a playoff spot. Habs season, exactly, Gabriel. Habs season summed up. You get one win and you lose 3 in a row. Randy, I would probably start Primo on Monday. I mean, actually, I wouldn't, because if this team plays anything like they did tonight, they're just going to leave him out to dry again. But then again, who would you rather start? Primo and have a good first period and a rough second and third, or start Jake Allen and just fucking be garbage all 3 periods? What would you rather have? I'm doing good. Hey, let's go, Darkness. I did see Blues were down, I think 3-2. They were up 2-0. Blue 2-goal lead. We're down 3-2 and then won 5-3, right? Hey, Sons of Liberty, how's it going, man? First time. Hey, Randy, thank you, man. It can't be your first time. If it's your first time, you must not have been here when I was talking about Jake Allen a couple times. Oliver, me too, man. I hope the Habs make a bounce back as well, but there's no possible chance that's going to happen. Like, I'm sorry, man. You guys are gonna have to deal with sweeping the Flames or Canucks instead of the Habs. Exactly, Gabriel. We're going nowhere. On one hand, for me, I want to miss the playoffs because it means, oh yeah, Ducharme is 100% fired. But on the other hand, I want to make the playoffs because it means we keep Bergevin. So I feel like I'd rather keep Bergevin and keep Ducharme for, say, 10 games into the end of the next season, rather than fire Ducharme and then have Bergevin fired as well. Oh, Avs were up 2-0. You guys went up 3-2. Hey, let's go. Let's go. Big hype, Darkness. Yeah, Dan, we played the shits tonight. We were god awful. But Sabres are 13-28. Damn. The opening lineups for the Canadiens were Tatar, Dano, Andersson, Toffoli, Suzuki, Perry, Lehkonen, Kalkin, and Gustafsson, Evans. Stahl would be Gustafsson would be the seventh defenseman, but they listed him as a forward. Hey, enjoy the dream life, man. Thank you. I'm being missed, man. I gotta pop off in there. I gotta get in there again. Canucks scored already. Jesus Christ. Who would have thought the Leafs would have a bigger lead in the division? I have no clue, TBC. Mike Litteris. Yeah, tough loss for sure, man. Exactly, Dan. No defense tonight at all. But thank you, Mike Litteris, for coming by to the stream, man. We need Ducharme going and move these vets. We've had, I don't know if you can say Duran's a vet. Dude's only 26. But yeah, definitely moving Price, Byron, and Weber would be fantastic. I'd love it, honestly. I asked this like a few weeks back, but is it more and more possibility? Ethan, abso-fucking-lutely at this point. We are absolutely losing that playoff spot. Like, we're 4 points up. The Flames will be only 2 points up after Monday. Yeah, we need change. I've still said it. We need to fire Ducharme, and I still think we do. We need to fire the guy that's causing these issues, and I don't know why it's Ducharme. Newbie, no, don't fire Bergevin. Bergevin's the only reason we're even competitive, in my opinion. At the start of the season, how the Habs were playing, I never had bet against them. Yeah, Gabriel, me too, man. Newbie, yeah, fire Timmins. Fire Timmins, man. All we need to do is win a round because the Jets and Oilers are looking like they won't be able to keep up with the Leafs. Newly found. Oh, there we go. Sorry guys, my Wi-Fi is being a piece of shit because it's fucking ExploreNet. Guys, don't ever get Explore. Yeah. Harry, if you're going to be serious about putting your channel, don't copy your work on Talking Habs. It's not even serious anymore. Drinking crazy. Yeah, enjoy the dream life. Honestly, yeah, I don't plan on doing that. I've only actually drank alcohol like once. I've only drank once. But yeah, I don't plan on doing anything like super crazy. Yeah, Bergevin will be fired at the season taps. The rumor is if Canadians don't make the playoffs, he will be. But I'd really hope that we don't. Molson seems to have faith in Bergevin, so I'm hoping he doesn't. If we can guarantee Bergevin does stay into next season, then absolutely I want to miss the playoffs, so we fired Ducharme. I feel like either way, Ducharme will be fired, though, personally. Exactly. Hamburger Man, I've said that for a while. Fire Ducharme now. Bergevin is interim coach, or hell, even Burrows. Try Burrows as interim coach for like 3 games while you let Guy Boucher or Patrick Waugh quarantine or whatever. Hell, I'd even run with Mark Bergevin as maybe interim coach. I think Bergevin could be fantastic if he coached this team because he built it. I've said this for a while. If you can hire a GM who could also be a coach or a coach who can also be a GM and do both their jobs well, it'll be a lot of stress. But I think a team could really benefit from having a GM head coach combo because not only do you get a guy who gets the players that the head coach has to deal with, but then you get a head coach as well who's like, okay, I built this team to put this player here. Let me do that, Newbie. Bergevin's doing a phenomenal job. Have you seen the signings he's made? Have you seen the trades the dude has made? How is the scouting department lousy? Newbie, stop having Bergevin syndrome. Stop having Bergevin hater syndrome. Okay, let me look up Montreal Canadiens draft picks. Have you seen the picks we've made in the last 2 years? If the Habs beat the Flames in the next matchup, then TBC, we don't play Vancouver anymore, so unfortunately we won't be able to go up 7 points on them, but yeah. Exactly, TBC. Like Keefe and Dubas, they know what each other wants. I honestly think Bergevin has what it takes to be a head coach in the NHL. If Molson, I don't know if it's Bergevin. I think it's Molson that fires the coach. I forget if it's Bergevin or Molson. I'm pretty sure it's Molson. But I think Molson, he's high on Bergevin, it seems like, because he's been given fucking, 10 years at this point? 9 years behind the bench, behind the bench, I wish. 9 years in head office, or in front office, I should say. I think you try him out as an interim head coach for the rest of the year. I don't know. Hey, I'm sorry about it. I'm sorry about that, TBI, man. I'd rather get these Flames. Yeah, that is true, Gabriel. I'd rather get these games. Sorry. I'd rather get these games against the Flames out of the way for sure, man. Mark Bergevin's doing a good job. Exactly. He brought in Toffoli and Andersson, who combined for 31% of our goals this year. He brought in Allen, exactly, who's been great. He's been fantastic. Exactly, TBC. Bergevin's underrated. He needs to find the right coach. Like, who knows? Maybe the right head coach is someone like Guy Boucher or Patrick Waugh. Maybe it's Joel Bouchard. Maybe the right head coach for Montreal is Joel Bouchard. They have talent, prospect, and quantity, but not in newbie. I would rather have talent, prospects, in quantity than in quality. Would you rather have? And this is the first. Would you rather have Jack Eichel, or would you rather have, say, a line of talent that combined to be Jack Eichel? So instead of having to worry about one player, you have to worry about three that equal that talent. I'd rather have the three personally. Only so much the GM can do. Exactly, conservative lawyer. Thank you. It's only so much that the GM can really do. No, TBC. Fuck you. Fuck Babcock. I don't care if he'd fit in Montreal. Fuck him. I don't want to see that piece of shit in Montreal at all. Fuck Mike Babcock. Exactly, Hamburger Man. If we fire Bergevin, we'll just get a French guy or another French guy who this time doesn't know what he's doing. We'll immediately go downhill. I mean, Hamburger Man, I wouldn't say call Bouchard up like right now. Like, if anything, I'd hire another interim coach. Maybe hire Patrick Waugh. Just be like, yo, do you mind coming up from the Ramparts, just coaching us for the rest of the year, see how you do? Because I'm sure he wouldn't mind it. And then probably next year, just call up Bouchard. I don't know if he'd be ready. I mean, hey, I would try it. And worst case scenario, oh shit, he's not ready. Hire someone else, and then Bouchard just goes back to the AHL. Exactly, Pavlo. He brought in Toffoli, Andersson, Allen, Edmondson, who hasn't been that bad in my opinion, and even Corey Perry was a fantastic free agent signing in my opinion. Thank you, Winslow. Hire Harry 2022. Low key, like if for whatever reason Mark Bergevin or Jeff Molson or someone in the Canadiens organization ever sees this, absolutely. I would honestly love to take a head coaching job with the Canadiens. Like, it'd be fucking tough, but I'd love it. I mean, I would try my best. I do Jeff King. I get the sense as well, which does give me faith. And that's probably one of the only reasons I do like Jeff Molson is that he is tight with Bergevin and he has trust in him. Like, I think a majority of the Canadiens fans should. But newbie, they don't have core players to build on. Gallagher, Caulfield's going to be coming up. Suzuki, Kotkaniemi, we have core players that we can build on. And hell, if you look at our draft history, Fly Games, how's it going, man? Yeah, Gabriel, honestly, I think after this game, I might just create a petition to fire Bergevin. Not fire Bergevin, fire Ducharme. Don't you fucking clip me. Seeing an overgrown egg behind the... Fuck you, Winslow. Hey, let's go, Dean. Let's go. Only good news is Laval Rocket. Oh, did they play again tonight? That's good. Hamburger Man, I have no clue either, man. I have no fucking clue. But yeah, looking at let's start with the 2018 draft actually, because we had some really good picks there. Fuck it, 2017 in my opinion. Ryan Poehling, first round pick. I think he could be good. I honestly think Poehling has what it takes to make the NHL next year. Cale Fleury, I'd even argue in the third round was solid. Joni Ikonen, is it? No, I'm thinking of Jesse. No. Hell, who knows? Maybe Joni Ikonen. Josh Brook, I think, is a solid potential third D pairing. Cayden Primeau, I really like what I've seen from Cayden Primeau personally. 2018, Kotkaniemi, he's been fairly good. Jesse Ione, I think has what it takes to be a solid third line center in the NHL. Alex Romanov looked really good. Jacob Olofsson, nothing really there. Well, not nothing, but just not going to be really great NHLer. Cam Hillis, I'm really high on Cam Hillis. I like Cam Hillis. Jordan Harris, I like him. He should be decent. Samuel Hode, I think, has what it takes to make it to the NHL. 2019, Cole Caulfield, elite sniper. Dude is fantastic. Like, I'm just gonna get to the comments and I'll get back to this. Yeah, Colette, easily. Our team played terribly. I hope Mark Bergevin stays as well. I mean, I don't know, Colette. I think Wall would want to coach Montreal. I mean, like, next to no one, I think, is still in the organization from when he left. Habs need Patrick Wall as coach. Yeah, Dan, I agree for sure. Yes, TBC. Nikita Sherbak, best draft pick by Bergevin, absolutely. Hey, let's go, Dean. The players you mentioned are not newbie. We don't need point per game players, dude. We don't need just point per game players. We need those guys that can be under point per game player and be great. Gallagher, he's not a point per game player. Andersson, not a point per game player. These guys aren't point per game players that are fantastic. Gabriel, I wouldn't say Saka Koivu was a superstar. He was just marketed because he was the biggest name that the Canadians had. Hamburger Man, yeah, Paling, Evans, and Perry would be a great fourth line next year. Like, I really like Corey Perry. I think if you keep him one more year, put him with Evans and Paling, not only to be that leadership and that veteran cup experience, also teach the guys. And I think he could be a fantastic, potentially the goal scorer on that line. I think Paling is a setup man. Evans is the two-way guy. I'd love that. Exactly, TBC. If fucking Ducharme stopped messing with the goddamn lines and let us develop chemistry, or better yet, go back to the lines that had chemistry, aside from Gallagher being on the top line because obviously he's injured, we could be good. Yeah, Pavlo, unfortunately, Paling takes a stalled spot for sure. Not just because he's been bad right now, but we're probably not going to re-sign him, unfortunately. Exactly, Hamburger Man. He's probably back to Minnesota next season. Hi, Harry. Can't believe this game. I have no clue. Enor Tap. We were doing phenomenal at the beginning of the year. Just a reminder, 4-0-2, and now we're 20-17-9. Yeah, Dean, I hope so as well, man. Pavlo, like, Jesus, 3 assists in the first star. Let's go, Dean. Yeah, Gabriel, we're getting to Sean Farrell, man. We're getting to Sean Farrell. I'm going to open his Hockey DB page now. But 2019, Jaden Struble. I like Jaden Struble. Matthias Norlander, potentially a really solid fourth line, Jesus. Second pairing defenseman, top 4 defenseman is what I meant to say. Johnny Fearbrother, I think, could even be decent. Raphael Harvey Pinard, I think he's a left winger, right? He's doing really solid this year in the AHL. I think you give him a couple years, he could do good. Cayden Primeau, I think, is going to be a really solid top 4 defenseman. Luke Tuck, I think, has potential for a bottom 6 role. I really like him. Jan Misek, I honestly think could be a really fantastic. I really think Jan Misek can be an incredible second line left winger for the Montreal Canadiens. For some reason, they have him listed here as a center, but I guess he's a center and left winger. And of course, the guy Sean freaking Farrell, who just came off of 29 goals, 98 points in the fucking USHL with the Chicago Steel. Hey, Luna, how's it going? Luna, thank you for coming by. Exactly, Pavlo. Julian's problem was not adjusting. Ducharme's problem is the exact opposite. Line juggling every time. Like, I genuinely have no clue. Exactly, Colette. Like, let's not give up. Like, if we can beat Calgary, we do have a chance. Like, we'd be up 6 points on them if we beat them on Monday, for example, you know? Like, yeah, I'm just bringing Cole Caulfield. Like, I'm not expecting him to go out there and score 4 goals like Ryan Paling did. like, no, I'm expecting him to, like, play decent, maybe have a goal if he's lucky, maybe have an assist, but just generally just, like, go in, play maybe 8 minutes, do solid. Well, probably, like, 12 minutes knowing how we balance the lines, so probably about 12 minutes. You know, I think he could do good, you know, and we look at it like, hey, this kid's first NHL game, let's go out there and do good for him, you know? Exactly, Dean. We need to shake things up. Like, these lines aren't working. Like, I know I just criticized Ducharme for line juggling. I could be seen as a hypocrite, but shake up the lines because these lines aren't working. And I'm saying put him back to how they were when we were winning. For Ducharme, the way he's fucking line juggling and everything, he wants to fucking lose. He wants to be out of the playoffs, I swear. Ducharme pisses me the fuck off. He switches up the lines every minute. That's why I liked. Yeah, Gabriel, that's probably why I like Julian more. Like, sure, Ducharme's more offensively styled. He hasn't fucking shown it. But Julian at least kept the lines the same. Yeah, Dean, Sean Farrell looks phenomenal. I'm going to be honest. If he obviously not converts exactly the way to the NHL, there's no way he's going to be on pace for 140 points in an 82-game season. That's just unrealistic. But if, for example, but if he comes into the NHL and puts up 60 points, say 55 assists, 10 goals, something like that, for example, for 65 points, something like that, he has potential to be a first-line center. But even then, I don't think he'd only have 40 assists if he's playing with Caulfield on a first line, for example. I think Sean Farrell has the potential to be a massive steal. Have leave those OVOs, McDry. Oh my God, they'll be Bergevin traded for Drouin, overpaid Subban, replaced with Weber, by Chiarot, Lehkonen, Armia, Price. Yes, they're overpaid players. But dude, fucking newbie, dude. You're delusional, dude. Bergevin, what has he done? All right, let's look this up. Mark or Montreal Canadiens trades. Montreal Canadiens trades. Montreal Canadiens free agent signings. Let me look at all of these. At least I hope they'd have signings and trades. There we go. And then if the site I want to load, NHL cap, no, not fucking cap friendly. Fuck it, cap friendly. This team is very depressing. Very, I don't know what I'm saying. Jesus. Gabriel, I'll know about Michel Therrien. Hey, thank you, Dan. I appreciate it, man. Exactly. We have enough talent to win 3 in a row. Like, I honestly think a majority of this is on Ducharme. Like, dude is not great. Exactly, not Silver. We're having an identity crisis. We need more Galley and Anderson type players. Look at the Pens. They can have 4 or 5 players. Exactly, not Silver. Like, they can have fucking Crosby and Malkin injured, and they'll be like, all right, let's go out. Let's win 3 in a row because we're the Penguins. Why not? Like, all right, let me go back. Jesus Christ. Okay, yes, load more, please. I swear, my stream's about to crash on me. Newbie, yes, Bergevin also signed Alzner. Dude, just give me like two minutes while this loads for me. I have shitty Wi-Fi. But Raphael Harvey Pinard, like he has 18 points in 28 games in the AHL. I think he could be a good, probably 3rd, 4th line guy. Like I think in the future, if your left wing depth can look like, for example, Sean Farrell, Jan Misick, say Harvey Pinard, and Luke Tuck. I think that's a really solid left wing core you got there. I think that's really, really fantastic in my opinion. All right, let me look at trades. How many of these are loading up? Okay, let's go back to, let's just say 2017. Habs acquires Nick Delorier for Zach. Okay, fuck it. Okay, I'm not going to do this now. I'm going to talk about a bit of the game. Then we're going to do that actually because I need to get to the game. This isn't a Mark Bergevin stream. This is a Habs game. I'm going to try and get through this a little bit quickly. Yeah, Sherrod Weber, Edmondson Petrie, and Romanov Merrill would be the defensive pairings. Tuna's hurt, so Cole might get. Yeah, Sean, I did see Tatar. Actually, I forgot to put this in my notes. Thank you for bringing that up. But yeah, Tatar actually got hurt after he hadn't had a shift after the Flames scored their 4th goal. I highly doubt he got benched because Ducharme doesn't have the balls to do that. But yeah, and someone said, fuck, what did someone say? Yeah, Enor Tap. Gustafsson looked good tonight, I think. Dude had 2 assists, so that was actually really solid. Merrill was weak though. Merrill was definitely weak, but he's meant to be more of a defensive defenseman. But yeah, Gustafsson looked really solid, I think. We're missing that Subban energy type player. Not saying we should acquire. If we can get someone similar to him where I don't know if he brings drive. I'd say passion for sure because he wanted to look good. I mean, who knows? Maybe after next year. Or maybe after next year, not for next year, but maybe after next year, maybe somehow, for some reason, Bergevin looks at Subban as like, hey, 1 year, $1.5 million, for example, and just brings him in potentially. The reason why we had that amazing start of the season, exactly, we were confident in our play. We had no confidence anymore. Exactly. Ducharme keeps switching up the goddamn lines. Like, guys have, Ducharme sees, for example, Tatar, Deneau, Anderson have one bad shift because Anderson's outplaying Deneau and Tatar, but then again, Anderson's outplaying everyone. He sees those guys having bad lines, like, all right, put the army on that first line. You know, it's like, what the fuck? Then today's NHL, you got to tank for a few years and rebuild. You can't finish mid-standings every year and expect to become a contender. I mean, Paul, that's the thing. You can't. You don't have to tank for a few years and rebuild. Look at the Penguins. What did they do? Yes, they tanked. Well, not intentionally. They were just straight up garbage. But that's the thing, Paul. Teams that are tanking aren't doing it intentionally. They're just fucking garbage. Like, teams are just bad. Like, I don't know. Yeah, Tap. Yeah, I don't think we're seeing Subban in Montreal again just because of the way that things went. Subban was kind of a prick in Montreal. But yeah. Newbie. Bergevin's mediocrity. He's an average GM. Newbie. You do realize how hard it is to win a fucking Stanley Cup, right? Right? Newbie. Since Bergevin was hired in 2012, I forgot if he was hired after the 2012 Cup. I'm going to say he was hired before just to make it my point. But 7 teams have won the 6 teams have won the Stanley Cup in the time that Bergevin has been a GM. The Kings won in 2012, Chicago in 2013, the Kings in 2014, the Blackhawks in 2015, the Penguins in 2016, the Penguins in 2017, the Capitals in 2018, the Blues in 2019, and the Lightning in 2017 and 2020. 6 teams have won the Stanley Cup since Bergevin has been the GM. Like, It's not. Do you know how easy it is to um? Do you know how easy it is to say, "Oh, he's an average GM," but you don't realize how hard it is to win a cup? Yeah, exactly, Pavlo. Subban, I don't think we would want to rejoin the beef with Galley. So yeah. Thank you, Tap. That's not your team's tank to gather good draft picks, sell good players for more youth and picks. I mean, that's the thing, Paul, is that the Red Wings, you can't use the Red Wings as an example. They were selling the future to stay good. They wanted to stay a dynasty. You look, there's a great video. I forget what it is. I think it's how the Red Wings, I forget who it's by, but if you guys just look up like Red Wings dynasty collapse or something, it's like Red Wings, just look up like Detroit Red Wings collapse documentary or something like that on YouTube. It's a great video. It talks about how the Red Wings went from winning a cup in 08 to how they fell out of the playoffs entirely in like 2016 and how they got into their rebuild. They didn't purposely go into the rebuild. Like at this point, yes, they are. Yeah, Paul, yes, they are now. But that's the thing. You look at from like 2014 to 2016, they were selling or they were buying hard, getting rid of picks and getting rid of prospects. So they didn't have a future, which is why they're stuck in the rebuild now. Because they didn't have, for example, say 2014, if they had Anthony Mantha, for example, they wouldn't have an Anthony Mantha now. They would have traded him away, for example. Pablo, exactly. We don't have many alternatives to Bergevin, which I'd still say is a good thing because Bergevin's kind of one of a kind. Like, he's phenomenal. Buying Alzheimer's is the right move. Did you know if his contract wasn't not Silver? Do you mean they wouldn't? No, Conservative Lawyer. It's not by Urinating Tree. Well, Urinating Tree's video is good, but Conservative Lawyer, it's not by Urinating Tree. It's by someone else. I forget exactly who it is. I watch their videos a lot, which is embarrassing that I can't remember. But yeah, Conservative Lawyer. Speaking of actually, Urinating Tree's video is like another great one as well. But yeah, not Silver. Do you mean they wouldn't have the cap space to bring Caulfield, or do you mean they would? But yeah, Cayden Primeau will finally get a start in the NHL, and Jake Allen would bench warm for him tonight. Opening lines for the Flames were Gaudreau, Lindholm, Tkachuk, Monahan, Mangiapane, Monahan, Dubé, Nordstrom, Backlund, Ritchie, Lucic, Ryan Robinson, and then Giordano, Tanev, Hanifin, Anderson, Valimaki, and Stone. Jacob Markstrom would go back-to-back, and that surprisingly, Louis Domingue would keep on warming the bench. They would have the cap space. Wait, but then how was buying out Alzner the right move then, not Silver? If he wasn't bought out, we would have the cap space today. So I mean, I think it was still the right move instead of just paying him for this year where we wouldn't have been able to buy as we did. Like, yeah, we have it for 2 more years, but like, come on, the cap space is like 1.6 next year. It's not even that much. Regardless, they are rebuilding now. Yeah, Paul, like regardless, they are rebuilding now and have a bright future, but that's the thing. Montreal has a bright future. Like I said, they didn't have to go out and absolutely tank. He doesn't have to go out and absolutely tank. Like I said, Sean Farrell could be an absolute steal. Caulfield at 15 is an absolute steal already. Like, given the dude, 60 tied Ovechkin's under 18 record. I think beat Matthews. I think it's a college hockey goal total. Like, Jesus, exactly, Elio. Horrible, very pathetic is how I would describe today as well, for sure. Yeah, Gabriel. I mean, I understand why GMs wouldn't say Bergevin's, or why people wouldn't say he's absolutely amazing, but he is decent for sure, at least. Exactly, Paul. Bergevin over alternatives, his hands are kind of tied to an extent, as would anyone else. Habs fans' expectations for sure, Paul. Like, I thought second in the division, like, I thought that was realistic, and I think it was. I think it was realistic, but because I couldn't have foreseen that, Ducharme, and that's the thing. I don't get why Ducharme hasn't been fired yet. Julian was fired for far less than what we did now. We were still winning, at least, when we had Julian. I'm not an expert, but we should build a staff based on teaching and judging hockey till. Yeah, newbie. That's the thing. That's the thing, though. Yes, the Hawks have great. Talent, and so do teams like the Blue Jackets, for example. But that's the thing. How would you guarantee you're going to find these gems? How do you guarantee you're going to find these guys that can come into the lineup in 2 to 3 years and absolutely click and stick? You can't guarantee that with the Blackhawks. Part of it is luck, honestly. Part of it is honestly luck. I still believe that Subban. Oh yeah, Hyman. Like, that was a fantastic goal that Subban did, but I don't know if it's my favorite personally. Yeah, before the game, holy shit, these lines were brutal. I put scratching one of our best playmakers and now Paul Byron and not even putting him on waivers and no Cole Caulfield. Hey, Cameron, no problem, man. Exactly, Eddie. It's about player development. It's not that the Hawks happened to find this player talent. It's that they found the talent. I was like, okay, we can develop him right. We can develop this guy to what we want to make him. For example, yeah, Paul, we need a Habs player. We need someone like, not necessarily Primo, it's his first game of the year, but someone like a Tatar, or someone that's signed long term, like an Anderson or a Toffoli. We need one of these guys to be just like, hey, I'm tired of losing this year. We need to smarten up and some stuff like that. Like we need someone to go Merzlikins on this team or for this team. Yeah, Colette, 100% Calgary won't beat Toronto in the first round. They're probably getting swept on. I'll be honest. Less than 30 seconds in, Anderson had a good chance in my opinion. Anderson was playing great about 3 minutes in. He was doing some good moves and really hustling for the puck. I really loved what he was doing. Habs should be coached by all former Laval coaches. Bouchard is head coach and Burroughs is assistant coach. Gabriel, I'd like that actually. I think that'd be interesting. If this offseason we decide to move on from pieces like Weber, Price, and Drouin, I believe Bouchard would be perfect. Yeah, Hyman, I definitely think so. I think moving on from Weber and Price will be phenomenal because you can clear $18 million in cap if you don't have to eat any contracts back, for example. You can clear that $18 million in cap. Probably resign both Tatar and Danault and Kotkaniemi because his ELC is up, and probably have cap space for Suzuki and who else is coming up? I forget who. Romanov when his contract is up, Caulfield when his contract is up. All these guys when their contracts are up, you'll have the money to resign him. Cayden Primeau when his ELC is up, have money to resign him for the NHL. I definitely think Bouchard would be perfect. Like, yes, my main issue is that his style of hockey adapting from the AHL to the NHL, for example, like that'd be my only issue. But if he can develop, then I think 100% that 100% his team is 100% the Canadiens have what it takes to be great with Bouchard. I mean, hell, we had potential for Ducharme. It's just that he was not at all ready. He's not at all ready for an NHL head coaching job. I did see. Sorry, Cameron. I did not see Sandine sit on Blake Wheeler. I would personally move on from Price and get Olmark and out. Hyman Beast. I wouldn't get Linus Olmark. Like, yeah, he's doing good in Buffalo. I think doing good in Buffalo. Personally, I would love to see Darcy Kemper. If somehow Phoenix doesn't re-sign him, I would absolutely love for Montreal to move on from Price. Actually, I think it's windy out. I gotta grab my light. Where's my light? Oh, it's right here. I'd love to see us move on from. I'd love to see us move on from Price and sign a Darcy Kemper type player. I'd love Darcy Kemper, and whenever I get to watch Phoenix games, I'd love to see him with the Canadiens. I think he'd be fantastic. I bet you Bouchard could coach the Habs far better than Ducharme could coach Laval. Exactly, Gabriel, 100%. Yeah, exactly, Paul. I mean, that's the thing. Duran's an underachiever, though. Dude has fucking 23 points and 21 assists. I think he's happy with his assists, Like, for me, like, yeah, I would say, like, it definitely sucks that these guys are stuck playing with Weber and Price. But, I mean, that's the thing, Like, I'd say Tatar's kind of underachieving. Dude was our leading goal scorer or our leading point scorer, I think, last year. And now the dude is like fourth on the team. Like, Jesus. Young players need great mentors to teach them how to eat, sleep, breathe, hockey development, lots of personal practice. Always makes a huge difference. Yeah, Eddie, I see what you mean. The hockey culture is terrible. They might have talented prospects that cannot bring them up another level to play. Newbie. I didn't realize that we didn't draft Brendan Gallagher and teach him how to play NHL hockey. I didn't realize that we haven't coached Romanov to play NHL hockey, that we haven't coached Cayden Primeau to play NHL hockey. I didn't realize we haven't drafted these guys and taught them how to play NHL hockey. That's weird. Yeah, Hyman. I mean, Ducharme was elevating Drouin's game. He was really solid. It's just recently he's been on like kind of a slump. Dan, chances of Golden Knights winning the Cup, I'd say 12.5%, honestly. I think they're really solid. They have a great, I wouldn't say 12.5. I'd say probably about 9-10% given all the teams that are in the playoffs. I think they have a 10%. There's a lot of dumping on Weber and Price. Not sure if it's really justified just because they aren't. Ian or Tap, we said this last year about Price, that he was just injured. This year, like, yeah, Price is injured. But Ian or Tap, you have to admit, Price isn't consistent. Price isn't consistent. And I'm tired of people using the excuse, oh, maybe they're just hurt. Players are having bad seasons. Oh, they're just hurt. No, they're playing terribly. Hey, Paul, thank you, man, for coming by the stream. I appreciate it, man. Good to actually talk hockey. Sure, yeah. Even though we're getting disappointing results, it sucks. But thank you for coming by, man. TBH, I wouldn't be I would be absolutely fine if Tatar. I mean, I'd be fine if Tatar doesn't return. We need to resign Danault, though. We need defensive players like him. If you have lots of cap space that you could use to call up, I mean, that's the thing is Gabriel. We're not guaranteed to get players in free agency, for example. Gallagher and Romanoff is good, but who else to develop it? Newbie, not everyone that you develop is going to turn into an NHLer. Not everyone that you develop is going to turn into an NHLer. Okay, draft history. Let me go back to 2012. Let me go back to 2010, for example. Let's go back to Gallagher's draft. All right, so 2010. Jared Tenorti technically has turned into an NHLer. Brendan Gallagher turned into an NHLer. 2011, Nathan Beaulieu has turned into an NHLer. Charles Hudon, NHLer. Alex Galchenyuk is an NHLer at this point. Michael McCarron, technically an NHLer. Jacob De La Rose, fourth line guy. Arturi Lehkonen, currently in the Habs lineup. Sven Andrighetto was an NHLer. Nikita Sherbak, yeah, whatever. Brent Lornett, whatever. Played 21 games. Jake Evans, we've turned into a fourth line guy. Noah Juleson, I'm not gonna say he's not an NHLer. It's the concussions that have really messed him up. Lucas Vedemo, I like Lucas Vedemo. I think on a lot of other teams he would potentially be their fourth line center. Mikhail Sergachev, consistent NHLer. Victor Mete is an NHLer. Ryan Poehling is going to be an NHLer. 2017 is where you get iffy because you're still with a lot of young guys that haven't fully developed yet. Cayden Primeau will be an NHLer. Cale Fleury will be an NHLer. I'm just going off guys that have played in the NHL thus far. Jesperi Kotkaniemi is an NHLer. Alex Romanoff is an NHLer. Caulfield is about to be an NHLer. You have these guys that are being developed and will be developed by the Montreal Canadiens. Harry, Tap, I couldn't even guess who the goalie is going to be for the Olympics. Like, Jesus Christ, Price and Hart keep playing the way they're playing now. They're not at all going to be those. Exactly, happened to be. Subban and Pacioretty were developed as well. If we go back even further, Ryan McDonough, these guys were developed, but they got traded. Habs an experimented. I think you mean experienced coach to support Ducharme and Burrows. They only have 3 coaches, but the number of coaches authorized is 4. Really not so right. I didn't know that. So we have Richardson, Ducharme, and Burrows right now. I know that Smith and fly games. I mean, hey, you never know. Smith is known for carrying teams in the playoffs, so you never know. Habs got some shots early on, but Flames are coming back with a few. Primo is looking solid thus far. I really like that. I think there's a lack of accountability with Ducharme and player power with veterans like Price, Weber, etc. is not helping the case. Exactly, Pablo. Like, that's why I keep saying, like, I'm one of the few people that have actually been going on, like, yo, fire Ducharme. Ducharme's inexperienced. Ducharme's doing this. Ducharme's doing that. Line changes, for example. Constantly changing the lines. Not playing his best players when we need clutch goals, for example. Stuff like that. And plus, like, people like Price and Weber not sticking up for the team in a way and not taking accountability and trying to help us be better. Like, Price, I understand he's hurt right now, but guys like Weber, you could say guys like Tatar, guys like Byron, guys like fucking Petrie even. These guys aren't stepping up and helping out the team, in my opinion. I would keep Burrows, but because even though our power play isn't stellar, exactly, Gabriel, like, for sure, our power play is much better than when Kirk Muller was handling it. Like, this year, like, the only issue I think with our power play is that we're very on and off. Last month we had one of the best power plays. This month we've had a terrible power play. We're very on and off, in my opinion. If Burrows can figure out what was making us one of the best power plays in the league in March and keep that going consistently or adapt it partly for the future, then I absolutely think we need to keep him. Why such a low percentage? All the players you mentioned are bottom feeders. All the prospects you mentioned haven't proven anything. Yes, newbie, we screwed up 30 goal scorer with the Canadiens, Alex Galchenyuk. Yes, we absolutely screwed up Alex Galchenyuk. But newbie, all the prospects you mentioned haven't proven anything long term. Yes, because Mikhail Sergachev hasn't proven anything in Tampa. Who was the team that developed him? We did. Price will absolutely still be one of the 3 goals in the Olympics next year. Probably won't be the starter. I could see them definitely bringing him with his past, kind of like how we're bringing guys like Stahl and Perry with cup experience. I think bringing in Price as like a backup or probably even the 3rd goalie. Yeah, exactly in our tap. Gallagher was our success of the power play for sure. It's intermission A. Welcome back, Luca. Where am I? Habs are controlling the play for a bit. They were having some fun in the Flames zone, but then the Flames went to the power play. Lehkonen got called for holding as we were on the attack. Never a great time to take a penalty. Flames dominated their power play, but only got 4 shots, not only. Habs were not playing too bad defense. The Flames were, Habs were playing not too bad defense. They did stop a few shots from the Flames, but weren't letting them score, and we were 1-1 on the PK the other way, just like last night. But opposite, we're dominating this section. We were outplaying the Flames. And then we scored. Great rebound control by Suzuki, able to collect his own rebound. Gustafsson came in, passed it to Evans, took the shot. Suzuki got the rebound and got his own rebound for the backhand to put it up high off of Jacob Markstrom, not off of past Jacob Markstrom, and scored, like I said, on the backhand. And it's a 1-0 Habs lead. Gabriel, me too, man. Me too, man. I absolutely miss Gallagher, and without him, our give a fuck meter is extremely low. Like you said, like yeah, Andersson and Toffoli are giving a fuck, and they're caring, but everyone else just does not care. Like when Gallagher was in the net, when Gallagher was in the game, was playing, he's not retired, thankfully. But when Gallagher wasn't injured, I'll say, and he was playing, like everyone clearly cared. Like, yo, Gallagher's pushing, let's push. Like, let's win this game for Gallagher, which is why I think Gallagher should honestly be the captain. Yeah, newbie. Tampa developed Sergachev at an NHL level. We had for preseason games, but that's the thing is we still started developing. We started developing Mikhail Sergachev. We started developing him and helped him be an NHLer. Like, yeah, Tampa completely developed him at an NHL level, but we were the ones that started it. I mean, hell, who knows if Tampa straight up drafts Mikhail Sergachev, for example? Who guarantees that he turns into an NHLer? Maybe if Tampa straight up drafts him and develops him from the bat. Maybe they don't. Yeah, Tap. I feel like there probably could be a problem in the dressing room with the players as well, or the coaches. Like it sucks to admit, but I do think there's probably an issue in the locker room. Players won't fight to the end for each other. Exactly. I mean, Tap. I wouldn't say no GM or coach will solve that. I mean, I think someone like a Patrick Waugh could solve that. Like, I think if you bring in Patrick Waugh, he could be that kind of not bully, but that really hard ass, tight nosed. Type of head coach that can really give it to the players and then punish them for not playing up to snuff. Not in a fucking Mike Babcock abusive type of way, but just in a hey, you need to do this. You go do your job. Like give them a stern talking to type of deal, not abusive. It's ironic that the new players this season, exactly, Gabriel. Like Anderson's been out of his mind good this year. Toffoli's been really fantastic. Allen has been great when he's playing. Perry has been really good. These guys are new. Even Edmondson, I'd argue, is doing good. And Romanoff, I'd say, is a new guy because he's a rookie. He's been phenomenal. Paul Waugh is not equal to Mario fucking Tremblay. Jesus, Paul. Waugh, in my opinion, is not the same as Mario Tremblay. Like, I know you're saying, like, oh, Mario Tremblay with Patrick Waugh, but, like, Tremblay is not even in the organization anymore. Tap, but that's the thing. You look at Torts. Torts is the extreme. Waugh is a toned down version of Torts. If Waugh can even be a toned down version of Torts, if you guys know what I mean. Habs players play better when it's Price in net versus when exactly not Silver, and that's what I've said for a long time. Is that the players, in my opinion, no Carey Price cannot stop a lot of the pucks that he we play much better when Price is in net. Because we know Price can't stop a lot of the shots. When Allen or Primeau are in net, we know, okay, those guys can carry us for a little bit. Let's slack off. That's why we play better when Price is in net, in my opinion. And definitely, I do think he could support Primeau. I would keep him if that is the case, that we play Waugh. Paul, how would that be the same result? Waugh is a former goalie. He wouldn't leave Price or Primeau or someone like that. He wouldn't leave those guys out to dry. It happened to him. He wouldn't do it in, like, come on. Tap, have you seen? I've not seen Waugh coach in the minors, but I think that's the thing. It's the minors. If he brings that level of intensity to the fucking NHL, I'd love that. Honestly, I'd love to getting Patrick Waugh behind the bench. I don't want Waugh as a coach. I've met him when I went to Montreal. He was a big asshole to me. Hey, Gabriel, what did he do? Sergachev never played in our minor league system. What development did we play a part? Newbie, yeah, those 4 games. It's still 4 games. We trade him for an idiot. Yes, we trade him for a top 6 playmaker. Oh God, no! What an idiot! Like. Come on, dude. Windsor developed Sergachev for the majority of the year after he was drafted. Yeah, newbie. Why? Because we knew, okay, we're not going to play him in the minors. Also, dude, keep in mind, how many guys from the development system in 2016 are still there in 2021? How many guys are there? Do you think we should have drafted Tkachuk or traded for another first for Kotkaniemi? Are you okay? Thank you for coming by to the stream, man. Are you okay? No, I don't think we should have drafted Tkachuk. Like, he would have been good, but I really like Kotkaniemi. We needed a center, and I think he's going to be a solid second, third line center. And I think if we had drafted Tkachuk, we would have had the issue of having too many wingers. Because looking at it now, we have Toffoli, Andersson. Obviously, Bergevin couldn't have seen into the future as much as we like to think he does. Toffoli, Andersson, Caulfield, Misick, Harvey Pinard, Tuck, Sean Farrell. Like, Jesus, dude, we are stacked with draft picks. Was unstable, not good for a coach. Was not subdued compared to Torts. These types of coaches have a very short. Well, in or tap, how come Torts has lasted since 03-04 in the league, or 02 or 3, one of those years? How come Torts has lasted nearly 20 years in the NHL? Even if Wall would screw up in the future with the team, that's a then problem. Even if Wall would screw up in the future with the team, that's a then problem. We have a problem now and need to fix it. That is why every coach. Okay, thank you. I appreciate it, man. Yeah, Pablo, for sure. Like, I definitely think, like, I would love to have Wall as a head coach, even if it's just for the remainder of the year. Even if we're just like, all right, Wall, you're just gonna be hired for this year. Do what you want. We want to win you a Stanley Cup in Montreal again. Something like that. I would love to see Patrick Wall, like I said, even if it's just for the final, say, 9 games of the year. I mean, he's in Quebec, so he wouldn't need to quarantine. I'd love to see Wall in for the remainder of the season, and then fucking get Guy Boucher or hell, get Joel Bouchard, for example. Get fucking Joel Bouchard in the NHL for hell, even just the preseason games if you wanted to try him there. I think that'd be an interesting concept, having an interim head coach in the preseason. I think that'd be an interesting thing to try. Paul, I don't know if Wall would be a disaster personally. A guy like Boucher fits. I know a lot of us don't like the trap. With our defense being more defensively sound, it could work. But that's the thing, Hyman Beast, is yes, our defense is more defensive, but our offense, guys like Caulfield, I know people shit on him, but Drouin, when Misick comes in, Sean Farrell, Suzuki, Kotkaniemi, these guys have offensive potential. Yes, we have guys like Drouin. Suzuki has his own fair bit of two-way game. Toffoli and Andersson on offense as well. We need more of an offensive guy in our system. I'd love Guy Boucher if it means we win more, obviously. It's just we need that guy who can play all offensive style, in my opinion. High quality, no, you're not late. We're still in the fucking first period at this point. Hey, Paul, you know what? You're wrong. Thank you, man. Back and forth hockey for a few minutes. Habs are controlling the play now. They were really all over the puck. Really good plays. Then against the flow of the play, 30 seconds left in the period. Gaudreau gets on the breakaway. I believe it was off a pass from Elias Lindholm. Merrill was too far back, and he would end up scoring. Cayden Primeau pulled a Jake Allen. He was, in my opinion, too far to his crease and too far to the right, so kind of left the left side of the net open, or right side from Gaudreau's point of view. From Primeau's left, too much of the left open, and is 1-1 tie. Habs pressured late, but just couldn't score. Tied game 1-1. Shots were 14-11 Canadians at the end of the first. Every player has offensive potential. It really depends how much. Newbie, that is something I agree with you. Paul Maurice is more the type of coaching or tap. I agree with you, man. I mean, I think Paul Maurice does a great job of playing defensive. That's the thing with the Jets from what I've seen of them. They play great defensively when they need to, and when they need to play offense, they're up there and they play offense. So that's what they need, Tort's been in the league a long time, but with 5 or 6. Or tap, that's true, like 5 or 6 teams, but he won a cup in 2004 with the Lightning. Like, dude has won the cup. Are the Habs finally doing rebounds in winning? It's odd we really sucked bad. High quality, are you talking about you guys sucked bad tonight? But yeah, you guys won tonight. I'm happy for you guys. Yeah. When I visited Montreal, we saw him in a store. We went up to him to take a picture, and he just walked away. He didn't want to take a picture and just had a big... I mean, Gabriel, I kind of understand your point. Like, oh, hey, Patrick Wall, I want to get a picture with him. But keep in mind, the dude probably faces that like all day, every day. Like the dude, like I don't want to defend Wall because like you're a viewer, but like exactly, yeah. Gabriel, see the store cashier told you guys he does that all the time. But that's the thing. Like I said, he has to face that all day, every day. Like I understand wanting to be appreciative of your fans, but if I had to face that all day, every day, I couldn't just be like, yeah, sure, I'll take a picture with you. Like every time I went out, like I kind of understand what Wall's going through. Obviously not doing like all the time, but like I kind of understand him to a certain extent. I don't relate to him obviously because no one's ever asked for my picture in public, but like I get where he is. I know what his mindset exactly. High quality. Wall's also a human being, man. If he's out of the grocery store, like I'm not saying you're in the wrong for going up to him because you probably were a Patrick Wall fan. It's just for him, he's probably like, okay, I want to do my groceries. I just want to do whatever I'm doing, and Like, I don't think he's like, oh, fuck everyone who likes me. Like, he's just like, I want to be left alone a little bit, you know? Something like that. Like, maybe you just, Gabriel, what I'm saying is maybe you just caught him at a wrong time. Maybe people somehow keep catching him at bad times, you know? Something like that. Paul Maurice is the coach we need. And Pavlo says he does speak French, or he thinks Maurice. I mean, Paul Maurice. I know Maurice. It would be Maurice if he was French. But yeah, I'd like Paul Maurice, honestly. Like, if for some reason the Jets were stupid enough to let him go, or something happened where he was fired, I'd love to get Paul Maurice. Hyman Beast. If Tatar is out next game, I don't know if we see Caulfield back. I think it's either Byron or Duran. I don't think. Unfortunately, I don't think Ducharme has the balls to put in. Into Caulfield. Yeah, Sandy was one of your only defensemen that tries to get chances. When I was in John's stream, Hot Tech Hockey, go check him out. When I was in his stream, partly today, I was hearing a lot of Sandian's name. He was born in Ontario, so he might speak French. Thank you, newbie. I appreciate it. Appreciate you guys letting me know. Habs pressured Habs looked bad early in the second period, and then all of a sudden, right off a face-off, Milan Lucic scored. Primeau had no chance. He was screened by like 4 or 5 guys. Lucic it was a nice snipe by him, and it's 2-1 Flames. Habs are playing garbage right now. Holy shit, this sucked. And then the Flames scored again because Chiarot was going to Chiarot and not protect Johnny Gaudreau, who scores the second of the night, 3-1 Flames. And I was preparing for a Gaudreau hat trick, honestly. I was preparing for it. Spoiler alert, it would not come. Habs were not looking great. Still, they were absolute garbage. Habs then went to the power play that they weren't going to score on. How do you know, or what do you know? It's all passes and incomplete passes. I'm not fine. I'm fine with passing. But when it's that stuff like inconsistent passes, or your passes are way off, I don't like that type of play. And then late, it was a 3-on-1, and Suzuki doesn't pass to Tatar. It was a 3-on-1. The guy was in the middle. It was, I think, Tatar, Suzuki, or it might have been Suzuki in the middle, and someone else had the puck. But whoever had the puck, it was Tatar and someone else. They passed back instead of like maybe faking a pass and then passing to Tatar. It would have almost guaranteed a tie game, unfortunately. I believe Caulfield is in the lineup due to. Well, yeah, Tap. It's because of salary cap issues, but that's the thing. It's also partly because of Ducharme, because Ducharme has said, "Oh, we're not going to play Caulfield just yet. We're gonna keep him in practices and watching the games and blah 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 and all that stuff." So it's partly because of Ducharme and partly because of cap issues. The easy way, you just fucking waive Byron again. Like, Byron is the dude. Like, Byron's the guy that if you need salary cap, is all right, waive Byron. No one's gonna fucking claim him, Like, no one is gonna claim Byron. Hey Nashville, you want Weber? Yeah, Hyman Bees. Yeah, I mean Nashville. I mean, you could use someone like Weber, maybe nostalgia party. The coach who could be the guy who could be Habs coach next season: Joe Bouchard, Guy Boucher, Patrick Waugh. Yeah, Gallant's not French, but not Silver. Maybe just the French sounding name is enough to appease the people in Montreal who want a French guy. Who knows? If he doesn't already have a contract with Seattle, I still think Gallant would absolutely have a head coaching job in the NHL right now, but he probably has a handshake agreement with Seattle. Like, okay, when Seattle comes in, do you want to coach us, for example, So we were 0 for 1 on the power play tonight. We were garbage. Holy shit. We were not coming back at all. I'm really starting to like Sandin these past few games. He doesn't sit around like other defensemen. Hey, let's go high quality. They only have one more waiver left, so that's why they don't. But in our tap, there's literally like 10 games in the season left. Who else would you need to waive? You just waive Byron, you get $3.5 million in cap relief. You could put in both Caulfield and Jake Evans. You put in Jake Evans tonight, so there's clearly not a cap issue there. Just waive Byron, put in Caulfield, and you could healthy scratch Stahl. You don't even have to waive Stahl. And besides, the tap, is that a thing where teams only have a certain amount of times they can put someone on waivers? Or like, what is that? Like, because I know that it's like every 30 days you can waive them or something like that. So I still think the easiest solution is just waive Byron and you can put Caulfield in the lineup. And Druin was a healthy scratch, so you don't even need to clear hit. You don't even need to waive him. You just fucking waive Byron. You put Druin back in the lineup. You get Caulfield back in. I did not know that inner tap. That's weird. That dumb truck of a hit on Wheeler. I heard about that high quality. Yeah, Sons of Liberty. Waive Byron so the Habs can claim him being cap hell, unfortunately. I did not know that Enor tap. There's a limit to waivers. I mean, if they only have one more left, then just fucking waste it on Byron. I would use it. Why? Because Caulfield is kind of a better player than fucking Paul Byron. At least in my opinion. Habs went back to the power play. Mangiapane got called for tripping Chiarot. It was a retaliation. What a shocker. We didn't score both power plays thus far. Tanev actually did good shot blocking on Shea Weber. Over 2 on the power play tonight. I was already putting hashtag fire Ducharme. Habs went right back to the power play. It was a roughing call on Michael Backlund for punching Joel Edmondson. Surprised that wasn't a 5-minute major for that. But then holy shit, we actually scored 5 seconds after the power play. It was the birthday boy Tyler Toffoli. Big happy birthday, by the way, to Tyler Toffoli. If ever he's watching this, I'd be really surprised. From Perry and Gustafsson, made it 3-2. We were 1 for 3 on the power play tonight. Newbie, I wouldn't say we rushed Kotkaniemi. I mean, Metsä maybe, but Kotkaniemi, we did decent. Yeah, Mikheyev. Unfortunately, we're not making the playoffs this year. I think we should call up most of our Rockets guys and our vets on the team. Yeah, Hyman Beast, maybe. Gotta go, Harold. Take care, mate. Hopefully we're going to hail. Hell yeah, Pablo. Thank you for coming by the stream. I appreciate it. And hopefully we can win on Monday for sure. Yeah, Gabriel. 3 years ago, Byron was scoring 20 goals. Tom 6'4", that 3.5 is looking like a steal. And now he's getting scratched for Eric fucking Gustafsson. I mean, he had 2 points and he's point per game with the Canadiens now. So who knows? That 7th round pick that trade looking really solid already. Yeah, so it was 3-2 now. Habs controlled at the end of the second, or Flames controlled at the end of the second. If Kotkaniemi wasn't rushed, why was the second year such a steep drop off? And Newbie, if Kotkaniemi was rushed, how come his first year was really solid? I mean, Newbie, it's called the sophomore slump for a reason. A lot of rookies have the sophomore slump. Ducharme gets his head out of his ass. Or we're done unless Ducharme gets his head out of his ass. End of the second, Flames led it 3-2. Shots were 23-20 Canadiens. TBC, I'd be fine with Montreal missing. They're the only team I can see legitimately beating us in some game series. Sure thing, TBC. Thank you for having faith in the Canadiens, but I thank you. At least that's one of us. Ehlers, Dubois, Thornton, and Simmons have been going at it these past 2 games. That'd actually be really sick, high-quality drawing, honestly. I'd love that. Exactly, in our tap. A lot of NHLers have sophomore slumps. Really, Matthews got pissed after Dubois cross-checked Tavares, really. Gustafsson should play with Weber. I'd rather anybody. Yeah, Hyman Beast. Like, I know a lot of people said, oh, why would you put Gustafsson with Weber? Gustafsson's offensive. Maybe he can spark that offensive game and Weber back. Like, who knows? Weber has been decent defensively. Who knows? Maybe. Just maybe. To bring Caulfield, they would send Primeau to the squad reserve and call up Lindgren. They would have $1,668 of cap space after bringing up Primeau and sending down Primeau, or after calling up Caulfield, after bringing up Caulfield for legitimately and sending down Primeau. That'd be nuts, actually. Suzuki didn't have the sophomore slump. Kotkaniemi was never supposed to. Newbie, you can't say we drafted wrong. We needed a center. Kotkaniemi was the best center available. I'm pretty sure. Let me look it up. Not look it up, but let me open the page I had open. Draft history. Let me go to the 2018 draft. Dubois is the only player who has grit in the Jets. Lol. He got, TBC. That's absolutely nuts, honestly. Intertap. I'd say Suzuki's having a slump. Like, he had a good start to the season, like Kotkaniemi did within his second season, but he's, I don't want to say fallen off. He's just not been great. Like, he had a goal tonight, but maybe he's just getting out of his slump. And notice Kotkaniemi sending him down, did good. Why? Because it's almost like we develop well. Wow. You know, like Pettersson was in 2018 draft. No, I thought he was in 2017. Was he in the 2018 draft? No, you're thinking of Quinn Hughes, TBC. So yeah, Pettersson was in 2017. 2018, it was Quinn Hughes. Like, okay, you sprayed Kotkaniemi, drafted 3rd overall. Barrett Hayden was 5th overall. Ty Dellandrea was drafted 13th. Liam Foudy drafted 18th. Jay O'Brien 19th. Okay, let me sort by points totals. I know points aren't everything, but let me just sort by points totals. Jesperi Kotkaniemi is 5th right now in the 2018 draft in points, right behind Quinn. Well, not right behind, but behind Quinn Hughes by 25 points. He's the highest center. Who's second? Igor Sharangovich on New Jersey. And next, Isaac Lindstrom. Then Philip Kruvashev, Barrett Hayden, Ty Dellandrea, Liam Foudy, all guys ever drafted in the first round. Like, okay, we drafted wrong. Yeah, we could have had Brady Tkachuk. And yes, we could have Quinn Hughes. But would you really rather have, like, yeah, I'd love Quinn Hughes on the team, absolutely. But in terms of centers, that is what we needed. Igor Sharangovich was not going third overall. I'm tired of people saying, oh, we drafted wrong. Kotkaniemi is no scrub. It's not like Kotkaniemi's played 160 games and the dude has 8 points. Dude has 62 points. I think it's 62 points in 161 NHL games. That's the only thing I wish they would say, like, oh, projected. Oh, they actually might. Damn it, no. That's the only thing I don't like about Hockey DB is it doesn't say, oh, this guy was projected to go here. Because a lot of people have Kotkaniemi going into the top 10, I'm pretty sure. How far do the Oil Girls go? Sweeping the first round. Absolutely, Sons of Liberty. Sam Pullock always drafted the best player, not based on position. We're only helping other players. Newbie, how are we helping other players if we go off the board? Jesus, come on, dude. Like, okay, we're helping other players. Yes, we didn't draft Brady Tkachuk. Didn't Brady Tkachuk say, oh, I don't want to play in Montreal? Therefore, if we draft Brady Tkachuk, we have an Eric Lindros situation on his hand. I'm not saying, I'm not comparing Brady Tkachuk to Eric Lindros in terms of player. We wouldn't have gotten a haul back for Eric Lindros, for Brady Tkachuk. But come on, dude. Come on. Ehlers is a jerk. Yeah, high quality for sure, man. Let's bring him to the little Rockets. Yeah, thank you, Colette. I agree with you, man. I would say send Suzuki down and do the same thing we did Kotkaniemi this season. I mean, Hyman Beast, we could. Yeah, thank you, Colette. I agree with you, man. I would say send Suzuki down and do the same thing we did Kotkaniemi this season. I mean, Hyman Beast, we could send down Suzuki. I don't think he's waiver eligible right now. But yeah, Hyman Beast, yeah. So send Suzuki down. I could see it happening. I think it'd be great to do what we did with Kotkaniemi. Exactly. Suzuki's in the slump because he's being coached by fucking Ducharme. He was great at the end of the season until under Ducharme, under Julian, in my opinion. Kind of the same argument with Chucky. We sent him down to Marlies. Look at him now. Exactly, equality. Exactly. Kotkaniemi, Chucky, exactly. Like, you guys sent Chucky down. We sent Kotkaniemi down. They came back up. They played really good. Kotkaniemi isn't a bad player, but we could have had better. Newbie. Who could... Newbie, I literally just said Tkachuk is Lindros, but I'm just saying, if you draft Tkachuk said he didn't want to play in Montreal. Lindros didn't want to play in Quebec. We would have had a similar situation in terms of these guys didn't want to play here. Newbie, do you listen to what I'm saying? Because I just said I'm not comparing them in terms of player, just the situation that they would have had. Yeah, none of the draft projections put Kotkaniemi at 3. Quinn Hughes, where was he projected to go? Because I highly doubt anyone projected Quinn Hughes to go at 7th. And Quinn Hughes is probably going 3rd, at the very least. Leo, I don't know. I've heard Tkachuk say that he didn't want to play in Montreal. I heard that at the time that we were drafting. I don't remember where, but I heard certain places that he said he didn't want to play in Montreal. Even if we didn't draft Kotkaniemi, we probably would have drafted exactly Hyman Beast and Zdeno. Even him, like, he was not... from what I've heard, him and Tkachuk were kind of iffy will come to Montreal if they were drafted. But yeah, I'd rather have Kotkaniemi over Zdeno. Like, yeah, Zdeno's taking longer to develop. I prefer Kotkaniemi. How could even be a better fit for Kotkaniemi? Oh, who could even be a better fit for Kotkaniemi if you didn't put Cole sooner? Thank you, high quality drawing. Newbie, you can't get a source because I don't remember. It was fucking 3 years ago. I don't see, Brady Tkachuk says he doesn't want to play for Montreal. And bookmark. I don't bookmark every time I see someone say they don't want to come to Montreal. Like, Jesus Christ. Okay, I'm not going to look at signing because apparently Eyes on the Prize don't mix those with fucking trades. Let's come back to the game, then I'll go over Bergeron's trades, and I'll debate Newbie on this. Why is nobody so passive-aggressive? Oh, why is Newbie? I don't know, Leo. I don't know, man. You should always draft the better player, except when you desperately need to fill a position. Exactly, not Silver. And exactly, Caulfield. Caulfield was projected to go top 10. Why did he fall? Guys, answer me, please. Someone tell me in the chat, why did Caulfield fall to number 15? And the lag is going to make me do this for about 30 seconds before someone actually tells me. His size, there we go. No, so I had to do it myself. His size, that is why he fell to the Montreal Canadiens in the top to number 15th. I guarantee, you look back 10 years from now at this draft class, Caulfield goes top 10, without a doubt, probably even top 5. if Caulfield turns into a good 30 goal scorer, for example, I'm not saying 40, 50 goals per year, but say a consistent 30 goal scorer at the very least, 100% he goes top 10, at least top 5. Yes, exactly. Not over. He was too tall. Thank you. He was too tall. Exactly. I also been dog shit after trading. Well, Sons of Liberty, didn't they win their first 2 games with them in the lineup? The Hyman Beast. I think Kotkaniemi, I think Caulfield absolutely is our future first line. Kotkaniemi, I think, is a second line guy. I think Suzuki is a little bit better and probably will be that first line. I think our future first line is honestly probably Farrell, Suzuki, Caulfield, and I think our second line is Misick, Misick, Kotkaniemi, and maybe Toffoli in his last year. Like in 3 years, I think that's where our line could be. And then obviously Andersson on the right wing. I think we're really solid at left wing and center. Going to be great defensively, and goaltending I think is solid. I'd say our weakness is right wing actually right now. Not right now, but in the future I think is right wing. I think we need just 1 or 2 more right winger prospects because we have Caulfield, we have Andersson, we have Toffoli, yes. But Toffoli's going to be 31 by that point. Gallagher's going to be nearing the end of his career, so yeah. Yeah, Leo, exactly. If Kotkaniemi can learn not to fall on his ass every time he touches the puck, he'd be phenomenal. I think he'd be an incredible 2-way forward, in my opinion. I think he will be. I'd be positive if we can get positive results. We haven't been a dominant team in the league in a while. But newbie, that's the thing, is we don't have to be a dominant team right now. We have the potential to be a dominant team, and I think we will be. If we can get the right coach, we absolutely can be. The Habs have a better chance of making the playoffs than the amount of people who will positively rate Harry Rice's haircut. Thank you, TBC. Hey, Tap, Huberdeau will be coming here. I'd love to see that, man. I'd love to see that. Ehlers didn't want no part with Thornton. Yeah, give him the Kessel stick tab. Thornton is Ehlers' abusive father. Jesus, high quality. They won those games but barely like in a shootout or OT. The only good game. Yeah, Suns, that sucks. Exactly, Leo. Yeah, team hasn't been dominant since the late 70s. I'm not saying we're going to be a late 70s dynasty. That's the thing. When your expectation is to match the fucking 70s Habs, I'm sorry, but guys, lower your expectations a bit. We are never going to match the 70s Canadiens. We're never going to win, 5 cups in a row. No team is ever going to top those Montreal Canadiens. So lower your expectations at the very most to 2 cups in a row. 2 cups in a row is the most any team is going to get. Pittsburgh came the closest to any team in the next 20 years is going to get. The Habs aren't going. The Canadiens or any team in general are not going to win 3 cups in a row. Like I said, Pittsburgh came the closest, and that series against Washington exposed them for being incredibly tired after, God, what was it, nearly 400 games of, or 300 something games of playoffs and regular season games combined. Like, I don't know. Habs fans can't handle not being as good as their rival can. Parts theory. I don't know about that, TBC. I mean, that is true. That is true. Tap. They haven't won since I've gone away from the Mohawk. I think I might have to get the Mohawk going, boys. We're supposed to make the playoffs because we're good, not because newbie. Yes, we're making the playoffs because we're good. We are good though. Toffoli, Andersson, Gallagher, Caulfield when he comes in, Deneau, Tatar, Drouin. We have great players. We have a really solid top 6. Newbie, I'm not saying that we are going to win 2 cups in a row. I'm just saying lower your expectations from matching the 1970s Montreal Canadiens to the 2016-17 Penguins at the very most. We'll be lucky to win 2 cups in a row. We have potential to win a cup with the current core that we have and the core that's going to be coming up, in my opinion. Exactly, high quality drawing. Take a look at the Blues. They were down and won the cup that year. Like, exactly. We don't need to be a dynasty to win a cup. Like the Blues, they're not at all anywhere near a dynasty, and they won't be. Yeah, I can't blame you. Yeah, newbie. Rick and Jeff said the team is brutal. I love Rick and Jeff, but they're not the only Habs fans out there. Like, I would look elsewhere. Like, obviously listen to them, but like look elsewhere. They're not the only guys. They're not the only Habs fans in the world. Newbie, yes, the 16-17 Penguins would destroy us. Why? Because they were They were a team that won 2 Stanley Cups in a row. The first Cups in a row. The first, and as of right now, only time any teams have done that in this salary cap era. So yes, of course they would destroy us. But you know what we did last year? What did we do? Didn't we destroy the Penguins in 4? Can you answer me that, newbie? Did we or did we not destroy the 2019-2020 Penguins in 4? I'm missing a few comments. I'm sorry. Yeah, Leo, I can't blame you. The hair was brutal. I kind of like it. I kind of like the hair, but I'll go back to the mohawk for the rest of the stream. Yeah, St. Louis isn't a dynasty. They're D-nasty. Thank you, Quinn Chile. Yeah, Hyman Beast. I think Luke Chuck will be a future player in Montreal. I think a third line guy, fourth line guy. For second round pick, I think him being that nice bottom six guy. Technically, you could say like middle six, but I think bottom six guy would be great. Like I mentioned earlier, I think we could have a left wing depth of Misick, or Sean Farrell, Jan Misick, say Luke Tuck and Raphael Henry Pinard, for example. I think having those guys there, I think it'd be fantastic. I think it'd be fantastic to have as your left wing core, in my opinion. Because then who do you have? You have Tatar, who's currently in the lineup as a healthy scratch. I actually got to scroll up a little bit. You have Tatar, who's a healthy scratch. Duran, you could probably trade out eventually. Toffoli can move to the right wing, or you can move someone from the left wing, because okay, my hair wants to go back to this side because why not? Move Toffoli back to the left wing because he plays phenomenal there. Lekkonen's probably gone, and then Gustafsson, whatever. Dubois versus Kotkaniemi sounds good after all. I mean, Quinn Chile, I don't know if I'd say that. Dubois is kind of dirty. I wouldn't like Dubois. That's 3 years difference on an old Penguins team with several players missing. Also, what happened with Philly next round. Newbie, it's called 60% of their goals went off of a fucking defenseman. Went off of our defenseman. How many goals went off Chiarot? How many goals went off Petrie? How many goals went off Weber? Those goals don't go in. We probably win that series, honestly. No records can top Leafs and Habs back-to-back Reds Cups. Exactly a quality drawing. It's never going to happen. Montreal should have done a hard rebuild. I mean, I don't know about that, not Silver. We'll never get a player like Maurice Richard. He was the best player ever. We need to make Brendan Gallagher. Exactly, Colette. I still think we need to trade. We absolutely need to trade Shea Weber and make Brendan Gallagher the captain, or just straight up make Brendan Gallagher the captain and make Shea Weber an alternate, for example. I'd love that. I like Misick too, especially because he's a very physical player and can be useful in the future. Yeah, Hyman, I think Anderson's going to be around for, I would say, at least the next 3-4 years. I think later in the contract, we will try and trade him potentially. But yeah, I think Tuck can be in, and not exactly be Anderson, because matching Josh Anderson is going to be nuts for anyone to do. But I think Tuck can be a physical player. Yeah, TBC, at most we win 4 or 5 games the way they're playing. If we can smarten up, we have potential to win all of them. Us going on a 10-game winning streak. Okay. Calgary, we're losing 4 against the Leafs. I think we maybe take 2 of those. Maybe. I think we have potential to beat Winnipeg. We seem to have their number all year. Ottawa, I think we split that series. And Edmonton, I think we split the series, honestly. Who wanted to got home? This is why I only joined now. Chase, welcome back, man. Flames won 4-2, unfortunately. Where am I? End of the second, Flames led at 3-2. Shots were 23-20 Canadiens. Apart from playing Leafs or Sens, thank you, high quality. Right after the final whistle, there's some scrumming going on with both teams. Maybe 4-4 to start the third, but nope. Habs just were not doing good at all. Canadiens will be shorthanded. It's a rightful holding call. Habs not bad at first. We're able to clear the puck more. Romanov actually ended up getting hurt. Same type of play that ended Subban's Montreal career. The Flames player came in, just kind of put their butt in his face, and thankfully he would be back later, though, so nothing to fully panic about. But was really surprised that we didn't put him in concussion protocol. Really disappointed with the Montreal staff. That's one of the only things I'm actually concerned about, is that we didn't send him in protocol. Really surprised we didn't do that, given it was a headshot. Well, not a technical headshot. It was an accidental headshot. 2 for 2 on the PK tonight. And then what the fuck? Brent Ritchie slew foots Ben Chiarot, then ends up scoring on a 2-on-1. We are the actual Canadiens from last year. Why the fuck is Ducharme not gone yet? There were at least 3 to 4 2-on-1s this game, and I don't know how we didn't stop any of them. Imagine our team in 2 years, an old declining Weber who are already showing their age, Weber and Price who are already showing their age. How are we going to pay anyone with $17 million? Newbie, it's called salary cap is probably going to rise, and also Weber's going to retire, so you can just trade him to Nashville so they don't have $20 million in cap penalties. And also it's called Carey Price probably ends up going somewhere else. Or we buy him out. Newbie, 18. What do you mean? Oh, 18 million. I mean, Newbie, we can find ways around the cap. Look at Tampa Bay. They're making it work. Harry Ascrack, thank you for coming by the stream, man. Exactly, not Silver. Getting franchise players nowadays are extremely rare. Harry, how's it going, man? Yeah, 2-minute penalty for ass to face. Thank you, Quinchilli. If I was Bergevin, I'd be yelling at these guys in the locker room. You put everything you can. Exactly how I'm going to be. It's like, He really has. He's really put everything he can to the team. Acquiring Toffoli, trading for Jeff Petrie, trading for Tatar, trading for Suzuki, trading for Anderson, trading for Drouin. Well, he was around when Gallagher was already here. Trading for Deneau, drafting Jesperi Kotkaniemi, trading for Shea Weber, picking up Corey Perry in free agency, getting Byron off waivers, trading for Yoel Armia, signing Joel Edmondson, drafting Arturi Lehkonen, drafting Jake Evans, I think trading for Brett Kulak, drafting Alex Romanoff, signing Ben Chiarot in free agency, trading for Eric Stahl, trading for Eric Gustafsson, which actually I just realized I didn't update because of the second goal. So my apologies. I'm just going to do that real quick. Who's on the second goal was Perry as well. So holy shit. Nice job, Corey Perry. Let's go. He's done everything he can to help this team out. It's just the head coaches have not been working well. Yeah, TBC, we need a Hyman. I mean, that's the thing. We don't need a Hyman because we have a Hyman. Anderson's our Hyman. Price is our Hyman. Gallagher's our Hyman. We have guys that are like Zach Hyman, in my opinion. Harry Ascrack, I mean, we're still better than the Sharks by a long shot, man. Yeah, newbie, the NHL set the salary cap on rise for the next 3 to 4 years. Things can change, though. Things can change. And also keep in mind, we have guys on fantastic contracts. If Jake Allen stays, he's making $2 million per year. Josh Anderson is making a really modest $5 million. And even then, we could trade Drouin if we needed to clear a bit of cap space. Fucking Tyler Toffoli is only making $4 million per year. We've gotten guys to take salary cutbacks to come to Montreal, like Tyler Toffoli, and Josh Anderson probably would have taken $6-7 million elsewhere. You know? Yeah, not over. Like I think part of it is still on Ducharme for mixing the line so much, but definitely it's the players. Like GM, I think the GM has nothing to do with it personally. Jack me off, thank you. Habs are complete doggy shit. I agree, man. I'd rather suffer through one more year of soup. Newbie, you're fucking crazy then. Newbie, you do realize we would be at the bottom of the league if we still had Subban, right? You realize we'd be at the bottom of the North Division if we still had Subban. I'll be honest, we actually dead last in hits these past 3 years now, and people are saying we are now dirty. High quality. All the owners suffered due to COVID. Yeah, newbie, they want their money back, but that's the thing. They're not getting it back. They're not getting it back. That's the thing. And the Canadiens still not playing great. They have no emotion or fire without Brendan Gallagher. The important thing is proper scouting to find the best players in this year. It's not consistent. Yeah, for sure, man. Like, I mean, definitely it's not consistent because these players aren't playing. Like, I think college is playing, and those are the most people are getting. OHL isn't playing at all. The WHL is not playing. QMJHL, I think, is actually playing. But there's like, jack me off. Please no spam in the chat. Please don't spam emojis in the chat. That would be greatly appreciated, buddy. But yeah, honestly, yeah, yeah, proper scouting. Like, that's the thing. If Canadians go out and draft someone who never makes it in the NHL, you can't put that on Bergevin because there's next to no scouting that can be done this year. Like, that's why might be a few guys in the first round that end up getting picked and end up busting early is because of the non-existent drafting or the non-existent scouting this year. Like you said, that's actually a great point, high quality. Subban would bring heart, though. I mean, Quinn Chile, I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Like, his feud with Galley probably gets in the way a lot. Anderson's tough. We cannot have him fight, and right now we need someone that will fight from time to time. Ian or tap. That's why we have Chiarot. Tape to tape, yes. Unfortunately, the Habs lost. I heard a rumor Bergevin offered Brody $6.5 million. He declined to go to Toronto. I mean, TBC, I'm kind of glad he did. I mean, I think it'd be good to get I think it would have been good to get Brody, but just I don't know. I mean, I don't know if that would have been phenomenal. I mean, Brody would have helped offensively. Just I don't know about that. But yeah, Ian tap. I mean, like I said, we have Chiarot and Edmondson who could fight. Anderson can fight, honestly. I think Anderson could fight. I mean, the Habs need that Matthews-type player star more than Hyman. It'll take time. Hyman beast. I think Caulfield. Yeah, exactly. Caulfield and Farrell, we could develop those guys into those types of stars, which is why I do partly think, Derek, how's it going, man? I partly do think we can turn Caulfield into a 40-goal scorer. At the very least, I think we have the potential to do it. And I think that us leaving him out of the lineup is actually helping his development. And Sean Farrell, I think not signing him yet, letting him develop naturally in a way is going to help us. Their owners want their money back, so it has to come from future years. Newbie, it's not happening. That's not happening. Nor tap. Nyland's style of hockey is long gone. We do not need that at all. We don't need players to play and rough up for the Canadiens. We need those guys who can score. We need those guys. I mean, yeah, high quality. We're lucky to get Caulfield this year for sure, man. Quinn Chile, you can't say the energy of Galley, Anderson, Subban, because Subban and Gallagher fucking hate each other. Habs' biggest weakness right now is probably, I was going to say goaltending, probably defense, honestly. Actually, I'd probably say goal scoring, actually. I think we're back to goal scoring. Ask your subs from a financial point of view, would they rather pay 1 more year of a bad Subban or 5 years of declining? Newbie, understand this. We are not guaranteed 5 more years of Weber. He can choose to retire whenever he wants. We likely get 2 firsts back from Nashville for them to retire him, and we reap the benefits, just like John Lovitz in The Wedding Singer. We are reaping the benefits whenever Weber wants to retire. We don't have 5 years of declining Weber. Come on, dude. Those that can sort of fight can't afford to do so. Yeah, top. Like, I'd love Reeves, because Reeves is not only one of those guys that can fight and can hit, but he can score when he needs to, or when he wants to. They need to draft right defensemen. They're lacking players in that position with Weber and Petrie getting old and only Fleury. I mean, not Silver. I think we have a few guys that can play both left defense and right defense. I mean, we have Romanov who can play right defense. I think he actually is playing right defense right now. So we have Fleury and Romanov. In my opinion, that's good. We have some guys that can play right defense, in my opinion. I can see Yahoo movies. I think Weber's definitely going to retire around that age. A lot of players don't have loyalty to hair draft team. Who knows if our NCAA players play to free agency? Also, who knows? Newbie, with the way Weber's declining, he's absolutely retiring before his contract ends. He's absolutely retiring early. Who knows if our NCAA players play to free agency? What do you mean, Newbie? Oh, yeah, Jack Olsen, how's it going, man? What do you mean, who knows if our NCAA players play to free agency? Like, they could, but they'll sign, most likely. I think a lot of them are. Yeah, Jack Olsen, I agree, man. I'm not saying a goon, but someone who can make other teams think twice. Yeah, exactly, Enortap. Exactly. No one cheap shots Calgary because of Lucic, at least because of Simmons. And Lucic and Simmons, guys that can score. I feel like Anderson and Perry are kind of those guys. Like, yeah, players cheap shot the Canadiens, but how often do they do it? Because we have Anderson and Perry, and even Gallagher when he's on the team. The Canadiens still not playing great. They have no emotion or fire without Gallagher. There was a 4-on-4 after a scrum for some reason. Romanov went. I don't know why there wasn't a power play for the Habs. This was embarrassing. We have 0 fire or push to try and get a goal. Josh Anderson had a great shot, though, with 3 minutes left. Ducharme pulled Primeau with 3 left, like usual. And what do you know? Rasmus Anderson scores the empty net from his own zone. 5-2 Habs win. Harris, Strome, Fox, they signed with their draft teams. Newbie, come the fuck on, dude. Which Harris? Jordan Harris is still with us. Strome, I don't know. Fox is different because why? Because he wanted to play for a different team. He didn't want to play for the Hurricanes or the Flames. He wanted to play for the Rangers. Wow. Like, come on. Not all Habs lefty are comfortable players that are on natural position. Yeah, not sober. That's true, but that's the thing is Romanov can play right defense. I think he's actually a right defenseman who adjusts to the left defense, actually. I'm pretty sure he's a natural right defense, at least. Habs went to the power play with a minute left. Stahl got robbed in a wide open net with a defensive shot block. We were 1-4 on the PP tonight. Final shots 34-30 Flames, and they won 5-2. I'm going to do the stats, debate Newbie on terms of the trades, and then we're going to get out of here. Thank you, Jack Olsen. Sarcastic Harry is awesome. Weber should have his name retired. Yeah, he really has declined, but he still has some big moments. Yeah, high quality. Like, definitely in Nashville, he should have his yes, I did say PP. Big, massive PP. He should have his number retired by his number. I read you said name, but I think you mean number. I agree. Like in Nashville, he definitely should have his number retired. He was fantastic. Yeah, Ducharme looks lost at times behind the bench. He scrambles and switches lines. He definitely he was good as a PK coach, definitely not coach. Like scrambling the PK lines, I understand. Like scrambling PK lines, like, okay, this guy wasn't too great. We'll put this guy out there and try him. Like that's PK is the time where you can scramble your second, third pairing, not as a head coach. Like I wouldn't fire Ducharme as a full-on coach. Like as the PK coach, he was, but just PK coaches never really adjust to the head coach, it seems. Toffoli leads the team 24 goals, 11 assists, 35 points. Anyone who's saying Tyler Toffoli is not a goal scorer is kind of a joke. Jeff Petrie, 11 goals, 22 assists, 33 points. Tomas Tatar, 10 goals, 18 assists, 28 points. Nick Suzuki has 9 goals, 19 assists, 28 points. Josh Anderson, 17 goals, 6 assists, 23 points. Jonathan Drouin, 2 goals, 21 assists, 23 points. Brendan Gallagher, who was who's still injured, 13 goals, 9 assists, 22 points. Philip Deneau, 4 goals, 17 assists, 21 points. Jesperi Kotkaniemi, 5 goals, 15 assists, 20 points. Corey Perry, 9 goals, 8 assists, 17 points. Shea Weber, 5 goals, 12 assists, 17 points. Paul Byron, 4 goals, 10 assists, 14 points. Joel Armia, 6 goals, 6 assists, 12 points. Joel Edmondson, 2 goals, 9 assists, 11 points. Arturi Lehkonen, 4 goals, 4 assists, 8 points. Jake Evans, 2 goals, 6 assists, 8 points. Brent Kulak, 1 goal, 6 assists, 7 points. Alexander Romanov, 1 goal, 5 assists, 6 points. Ben Chiarot, 1 goal, 4 assists, 5 points. Eric Stahl, 2 goals. And Eric Gustafsson, 2 assists. He has point per game with the Montreal Canadiens. Hyman Beast, low-key, I would actually probably stop watching the Canadiens if we hired Mike Babcock. I would actually protest us hiring Babcock. Dom Ducharme is always looking at his iPad after goals and penalties. What the hell? Well, Ian Artap, he's probably watching the game, but I think a lot of coaches look at the iPad. That is one thing I will defend him at. A lot of players look at the iPad, or a lot of coaches look at the iPad because they get a more clear view. Like, yeah, looking on the ice, you get a clear view, but looking on the iPad, you probably get exactly what it is. Harris needs to sign in August 2022. We drafted him in 2018. Is he waiting until our signing deadline? How charitable. Newbie, come the fuck on, dude. Newbie, did you not hear? Jordan Harris kind of wants to do this thing called go back to college for another year. He kind of wants to do this thing called get an education. He kind of wants to get an education. So, and he said he wants to sign with the Canadiens, but come on. Yeah, Ian Artap, I can understand once in a while, but if he's doing every play, I don't get that, honestly, then. I don't get that. Exactly, quality drawing. I will bandwagon the Islanders if Babcock if hired by the Canadiens. But that's the thing, Newbie. You could look at Caulfield last year, Caulfield's not signing. You were probably the type of guy that looked at it Caulfield's going to wait till his rights expire and he's going to walk as a free agent. You were that type of guy last year that did that, right? And now look at it. Caulfield signed his ELC. He's looking at his iPad because he's on an app where he can randomize lines. Yes, exactly, Hyman Beast. Harry, didn't you say you would bandwagon? Well, high quality drawing. If I did say that, I don't remember it, but if I did, then absolutely, I will keep my word. I will absolutely bandwagon the Islanders if the Habs hire Mike Babcock. Michael Frolik, Xavier Ouellet, Otto Leskinen, and John Morrow, the only Montreal Canadiens to have played games with the Canadiens that do not have points yet. All right, let's look at these Montreal Canadiens trades from October 4th, 2017. We're gonna debate this with Newbie. People can say things. Tavares said he wanted to stay with the Islanders. Newbie, it was clear he wasn't staying with the Islanders. I like the Islanders, but that's the thing. Tavares said he was staying as soon as he wasn't traded at the deadline, and if he hadn't had an extension signed by then, he was leaving. Jordan Harris, there's no clear indication that he's leaving. He wants to get an education. Caulfield, he wanted to get an education. That's why he stayed his last year. Isn't this Harris's last year of college as well? These guys are probably just waiting. I wouldn't be surprised if at the end of the college season next year, if Harris signs, kind of like what Caulfield did, once hockey season breaks, or once his education is, or even while his education is done, but he stays in college for the next month until it finishes. It'll suck if any NHL player hires Babcock. What do you mean high quality drawing? His contract is almost over. Oh, did they buy him out of his contract? He wanted the Leafs. Yeah, high quality. Exactly. He wanted Leafs. All right, so Zach Redmond for Nicolas Deslauriers. We win that trade going away. Nick Deslauriers played good for the Canadiens. Sabres, they get Redmond. Didn't really do much. Who's the best goalie in the AHL? We should pick him up high quality. I have no clue, honestly. Harry Ray should be coach. Man, thank you very much, buddy. Thank you very much. Andreas Martinson for Kyle Bond. That's kind of a whatever trade. Torrey Mitchell, 2018 fourth round pick. If the Kings qualify for the playoffs, the Canadiens received their own 2018 fourth that was part of the Dwight King trade. They did qualify for the playoffs, so the 18 fifth, which is what it originally was, became a fourth round pick, which we used to pick Alan McShane, who I think is a decent prospect personally. I think Alan McShane is decent. Adam Cracknell for Peter Holland, that's an AHL trade. Al Montoya for a conditional fourth that became Jesper Weatherby. Oilers win, I guess. I mean, we kind of got cap relief from that, so that's kind of whatever. Jakub Jarabik to the Capitals for 19 fifth that became Marek Guskov, whatever. Kirby Reichel, Rennet, Valiev in a 2018 second for Tomas Plekanec and Kyle Bond. I see that as a win for us, honestly. Plekanec clearly wasn't going to re-sign long-term with the Maple Leafs. We get a free second-round pick. We get Kirby Reichel, who we tried to develop, and all we get rid of is Plekanec, who was going to re-sign with us. I see that as a big win, personally. We continue to play until we continue to pay until either 2023. Then that scumbag will go look for another team to ransack. Thank you, high quality. I appreciate it, man. It sucks how there's no Calder Cups. Yeah, it sucks, man. Like I would have loved to see the Laval Rocket qualify for the Calder Cup. I like how a lot of people are leaving now because I'm starting to talk trades. I'm just gonna go through all these trades as quick as I can. By the way, that we're gonna end the stream. So Joe Morrow to the Jets for a fourth. That became Milos Roman. I think that's a win. Milos Roman, don't know too much about him. Mike Riley to the Canadiens for a fifth. Oh, that fifth became Matvik Guskov. So because we trade Jakub Jarabek to the Capitals, we end up getting Mike Riley, which I think is a big trade in my opinion. That's really solid. Declare your four semifinalists. Jesus, Tap. Okay, from the North Division. I actually got to open this up real quick. I'm going to open the NHL standings. I'm going to open the NHL standings. So from the Central Division, I'll actually go from the Central Division. So from the Central Division, I would say, come on, it's going to open. There we go. Hurricanes, Panthers, Lightning, or Stars, because I still think the Stars are going to get into the playoffs. Honestly, I think the Hurricanes. I think the Hurricanes have what it takes to get into the semifinals. From the East Division, I still see it being the Islanders, despite them being on the slump right now. I do think they get into the semifinals. From the West Division, I still see it being the Golden Knights personally, and from the North Division, the Maple Leafs. I think those are who the finalists are. Didn't we start the season with 4 lines in depth? What happened to the scoring and defense? Injuries aside, we always overestimate. Newbie, it's called the players just aren't living up to it, and the coaching is fucking garbage. Newbie, yes, we started the season with 4 lines in depth, and we still have that. They're just in a slump, the entire team, and coaching is garbage right now. Come on, dude. Galchenyuk for Domi, that's a big win for us, obviously. Galchenyuk didn't pan out in Arizona. Obviously, would go on to get traded for Phil Kessel. Ducharme probably didn't have the foresight, or Bergevin probably wasn't like, okay, boom, let's get fucking Phil Kessel, you know? He was probably just a deadline acquisition. Pittsburgh thought they could work with Galchenyuk. Kessel probably wasn't available at that time for Max Domi, for Alex Galchenyuk. Domi spent a year. We obviously nobody turned into Josh Anderson. That's a big win for us, in my opinion. Imagine Leafs and Bruins third round. That'd be nuts. That'd be nuts on you, man. Who hired Ducharme? Newbie, I think it's well, in terms of bumping him up to head coach, I think it was Bergevin or Molson. But that's the thing. You can't look to them for answers. You have to look at Ducharme. You have to look at Ducharme and the players and think why they're not taking any accountability. Carolina, Islanders, Colorado, Winnipeg. Tap, I understand. I don't think Colorado has what it takes to be a cup champion this year, personally. I think next year they potentially do it. Hayden Hockey, great name, by the way, to the Oilers for a 2019 fifth that became Rent Pitlick. I think that's a win for us. Rent Pitlick looks like a decent answer. Looks like a decent, I believe he's a right winger. What do you think will cost if we can get Kessel back to the Leafs? That'd be sick. High quality, probably, first of all, 50% retention by exactly not Silver. He's only interim. He's only an interim head coach, Newbie, as well. It'd probably be 50% retained, 100%. I assume maybe a first round pick and Alex Kerfoot, for example, if it were to happen this offseason, I think. 2018 fourth that became Milos Roman to the Flames in exchange for a 2019 fourth that became Kim Norslinen. It's kind of whatever trade. Neither guys have made the NHL just yet. Yeah, exactly. Nortab. Ducharme's only interim coach. 2018 fifth and a 2018 fourth to the Sharks for 2018 fourth. Jesper Weatherby to the Sharks. Canadians get Mikael Hakkarainen and Jack Gorniak. That's kind of whatever. Neither guy has made the NHL just yet. Canadians, a 2018 fourth that became Brent Stempley to the Flyers for a 2019 fourth that became Raphael Henry Pinard. Obviously, we know Pinard goes back to the Canadiens. We'll get to that eventually. I think it's a win. We get that pick back anyways, and we just get the free 2018 seventh. That's whatever. To be honest, I see Vegas and Lightning as a final. I'm not sure if it'd work. Yeah, man, I think it would, because I think they're ranking it 1v4, 2v3 based on how the teams went in the regular season. So definitely Vegas and Tampa could be a final. Newbie, Bergevin assigned the team. He needs to take more accountability. Fucking Newbie, I'm only going to say this. How dumb are you? With all respect, how dumb are you? Yes, Bergevin assembled the team. Why does he need to take accountability for the coach not coaching this team properly and the players not living up to what they were signed to do? Why should Bergevin take head coach? Why should Bergevin need to take more accountability? Who would you like to be the next head coach? People are saying Guy Boucher. I'd like to see Boucher if it means winning. In terms of setting the team straight, Patrick Waugh. I would love Gerard Gallant, though, if we were looking for someone who wasn't French. You know, Nolan, whenever the Leafs win... is Nolan in the chat? Am I just missing Nolan? Whenever the Leafs win against the Jets, he gets that plunger out and takes his anger on it. I did not know that high quality. I need to catch up on Nolan's videos. Mikhail Hackett ran into the Blackhawks with the 2018 fifth for Henry Rybinski for 2019 fifth, or is a 2019 fifth. That's kind of whatever. This one I think is a really good trade. Olivier Rodrigue to the Oilers is a 2018 second in exchange for a 2018 third. That is Jordan Harris, and the 2018 fifth. That is Samuel Hode. I think that's a nice win for us. I love what both players have become, and I think they're definitely going to do really good things in the NHL, probably. Leafs forever. How's it going, man? This one, great. Yeah, tough loss for sure, man. This one, big win for us. Simon Bourque to the Winnipeg Jets in exchange for Steve Mason, who immediately gets bought out. 2019 seventh, that is Kieran Rachinski, or I believe Rashinsky. 2024, that becomes Jack Smith. And Yoel Armia, big win for us. Hunter Shinkaruk to the Canadiens for Kirby Reichel to the Flames, kind of whatever. That's a kind of a wash trade. What they made fun of by the guys in the Uber for the 131. I don't know if that was him, newbie. I don't know if that was him. So now it is fire. Yeah, Leafs forever. It's fire to charm, man. It wouldn't be possible for things to go back to normal, but imagine Seattle and Vegas. That would be phenomenal. I mean, man, that would absolutely be fantastic. I'd love that. Pacioretty to the Golden Knights for Tomas Tatar, Nick Suzuki, and a 2019 second. That was Samuel Fagiman, or Fagiman. I believe that's Fagiman. Fagimo. I think that's an even trade. Personally, Pacioretty, great 30 goal scorer. Tatar, looking solid. And Nick Suzuki, who is probably a future first-line center. I think it could be a massive win for the Canadiens. Bergevin is being held accountable like Johnny Depp in a sense. He doesn't deserve to be held accountable at all if coach and players. Thank you, high-quality drawing. And that's a perfect analogy. Johnny Depp in the Amber Heard situation doesn't need to be held accountable for jack shit. Bergevin doesn't need to be held accountable for anything if it's the players and the coaches that are disappointing. It's not like Bergevin is the head coach. In that case, yeah, I'd say he should be held accountable. But yeah, man, Norlinder was technically not in that trade. We will get to that. That trade that brought us Norlinder. But technically, yes, it did turn into Norlinder. Then Rennet Valiant and Matt Talamini to the Calgary Flames for someone named Brent Kulak, kind of a wash. No, seriously, Brent Kulak, solid top four guy. And yeah, I like him. Check the White TV. It was Ducharme making fun of Boucher's system. Yeah, newbie. Okay, it was Ducharme making fun of Boucher's system. Now Ducharme's riding. Now Duchesne's riding away in Nashville. So, who got the last laugh? Will Bitten to the Minnesota Wild for Gustav Olofsson. I think that's a win for us. I think Olofsson is still in our system compared to Will Bitten. I think that's kind of a whatever trade though. Christian Fullen and Dale Weiss for David Schlemko and Byron Fraze. I think that's a win for us. We get back Dale Weiss and Christian Folin, who's kind of decent. It's a cap dump for Philly. They get it back is Schlemko and Fraze. At least we used Weiss and Folin. So, yeah. The 2019 fourth, that is Kim Noslinen for Nate Thompson, who did pretty solid as a fourth line guy with us. And 2019 fifth, that was a Frederick Nisan Dicho. Yeah, I think that's a big win for us. Nate Thompson, solid fourth line guy for us. Bergevin is only doing money and player management. Exactly, I called it wrong. He's not manhandling the coaching system. Exactly. It's not like he's going and saying, oh, Ducharme, I want you to do this or this or this. Like, he's only doing like, all right, I'm going to acquire this guy, Tyler Toffoli. He's a good guy. Let's see how much we can get him for. He's only doing that type of stuff. Besher still on the power play made you come. Hey, let's go, Soviet Union. Michael Chaput to the Arizona Coyotes for Jordan Wheel. I think that's a win. Wheel at least played for us. 2019 fifth, that was Samuel Fagiman for the 2019 third that became Matthias Norlinder, and a 2019 fifth that became Jacob Laguerre. Mike Keenan as coach, absolutely not Ian Ortab. Mike Keenan is a fucking piece of shit, one of the worst head coaches in NHL history. Absolute garbage, should never at all, never be a head coach in the NHL again. Piece of shit. Ducharme wasn't the only player laughing. Newbie. Dude's fucking rotting away in Nashville. Come on. Guy Boucher out. Plus, wasn't Guy Boucher kind of their head coach when they went to the Cup final the year before? Or the conference final the year before? Huh. Okay, then. Ducharme doesn't seem to be... Exactly. Duchesne's not living up to the $8 million average annual value, newbie. Exactly. Come on, dude. The Kings trade, the massive win for us, in my opinion. I can't say massive because Fageman could end up being really good. But right now, with how Matthias Norlinder looks, that's a big win for the Canadiens. 2024 for a 2019 fourth to the San Jose Sharks. Igor Spiridonov for Daniil Chinchilev for the Canadiens. That's kind of whatever. Harvey Rypinski to the Panthers in exchange for Jakob Dubas, whatever. Kind of literally whatever. Canadians literally trading up one pick with the Flyers. 2019 seventh for a 2027. That funny enough would actually end up being one pick apart. 2019 seventh, they'd pick Raphael Harvey Pinard, 101st overall. 2027, they'd get the Flyers would get in 2020 202 overall. Gunnar Wolf Fortin. I'm gonna try and hurry this up because we're kind of running short on time. I'm almost to the top, thankfully. Big win for us with Raphael Harvey Pinard looking pretty solid. Big win for us. Andrew Shaw, a 2021 seventh to the Blackhawks in exchange for 2027 that became Chase Bradley, a 2021 third that is not known yet, and a 2022 that became Jan Misick. Big win for us, in my opinion. Big win. Love what Jan Misick has done with the not the Laval Rocket. Love what Jan Misick could turn into is what I meant to say. Imagine if Ducharme chose exactly, young man. If Duchesne chose Montreal, it would be in horrible cap shape. Thankfully, he chose Nashville. Yeah, Kevin Beck as coach, Enor Tap. I mean, that wouldn't be too bad, maybe. Anaheim Ducks acquiring Nick Delorier for a 24th that became Brayden Co. I'll admit that's a win for Anaheim. Delorier wasn't doing too amazing with us, but you know what? Hey, Delorier looks phenomenal in a Ducks jersey. I'm happy for him. We'll take the loss. Canadians acquiring Andrew Stoltz in a 2021 fifth that we don't know what it's become yet for Mike Riley. Excuse me. That's a win for the Senators because Mike Riley did really, really solid for them until he was traded to Boston. So yeah, that's another loss. 2 L's in a row. Oh no, 2 L's in what, 20 something trades. I like how Newbie hasn't been talking only about Duchesne for some reason. I like how he hasn't been talking about any of the trades that I'm discussing. Nashville technically owns Weber. High quality drawing. We traded for Shea Weber, but basically if Weber retires prematurely before his contract ends, Nashville has a massive cap hit issue. I think it's $24 million by the fourth year if he retires in this offseason. So we have Weber's contract, but if Weber retires, the cap recapture penalty goes back to Nashville, which is why they'd want to trade back for Weber for him to retire in Nashville, so they don't have the cap recapture penalty because they signed that contract. A 2024 to Buffalo for Marco Scandella, massive win. Because literally 2 trades later, I'm going to skip over Laurent Dufault for Michael McCarron. It's a wash trade, whatever. We trade Marco Scandella to the St. Louis Blues for a 2020 second and a 2021 fourth. Conditional that would be meant because St. Louis did re-sign Marco Scandella, that 2020 second, becoming Jack Finley. Spoiler, we would not keep Jack Finley. Then Joseph Blandisi and Jacob Lucic to the Canadiens for Philip Verone and Riley Barber. Literally whatever. Exactly, I quality drawing 24. It's something like 24 million, something like that. Exactly in our tap. Weber could retire and then return the following year, but that's the thing. He'd have to retire. He would have to retire. If he came right out of retirement immediately, like that would be kind of cap fraud. I think that actually wouldn't be allowed. Exactly. In the alternate universe, Aho wasn't matched. If we had Aho right now, that could help. Man, do we have either of Andersson or Toffoli right now if we have Aho? Do we have those guys if we have Aho? The GM gives the choice to the players. Newbie, we were on this point 5 minutes ago. We're on trades now. The GM gives the coach the players to work with. Yes. There's some accountability. No. A good coach will get the best out of the players, but the determining factor of the players. The newbie, why do you want accountability to be held onto the GM? If anything, it should be on the coach for not getting the best out of his players and the players for not fucking living up to what they're supposed to be. Like, hello? Ilya Kovalchuk to the Capitals for 2023. That's a big one. We signed Kovalchuk in free agency. Getting anything for him is fine. Dylan Peterson, don't know too much about him right now, but yeah. Nate Thompson to the Flyers for a 2021 fifth. That's a win for the Flyers because he did resign with them. We don't know what that 2021 fifth became yet. Matthew Pecker to the Sens for Aaron Lucic and a 2027 that was Louis Cavier. Don't know who that is, so yeah. Nick Cousins for a 2021 fourth. Win for Vegas right now because Vegas has signed, I think re-signed actually Cousins and have played him. We don't know what that 2024 is just yet though. Thankfully, we're near the end of the final. Jesus Christ, we're kind of near the end, sort of. As soon as we get through this, I'm going to do a really, really short outro, and then we're going to end the stream. I'm going to say right away is Discord notifications are on there. If you don't trust YouTube, I think we'd have Anderson. Yeah, probably Toffoli. No. Yeah, we'd probably have no Toffoli. Unfortunately, I wouldn't like that for sure. But yeah, is the World Cup of Hockey above the NHL league, or is it just an NHL pastime? Pretty much, it's an NHL pastime, high quality. Basically, it's not a league. It's something the NHL does. So like how basically it was their answer to the Olympics in a way, because these NHL players weren't going to the Olympics, they wanted a replacement. So that's why the World Cup of Hockey was brought back actually, because it was originally if I remember correctly, it was a tournament in 2004. And I think 1998 previously. It was a tournament like 2 times before. They brought it back in 2016. And because the players are going to the Olympics now, they're actually supposed to have a World Cup of Hockey in 2020. But I believe because the Olympics are being held in 2022, the players want a World Cup in, I think it's 2024. So technically the World Cup of Hockey can't take place. It's basically not a pastime to show the world that North. Basically, it's something. Yes, newbie. The GM evaluates the players and assembles them, but how is it not on the coach and players for not living up to what the GM bought? Toffoli, for example, Toffoli's living up to his contract. There's no need to take accountability there. But for example, someone like, I mean, you can't even give it on the new players. It's the players that are here. Armia, Lehkonen, Byron, Danault, Tatar, Howard, like these guys should be held accountable. Bergevin should not be held accountable for shit other than just, okay, trading for these guys and possibly resigning them, you know? High quality drawing. I think Matthews would go back to North America, and I think Hyman and Marner would be on Team Canada. At least I think that's how they were last World Cup of Hockey. I think that's how it would be, unless they can choose. Like I think Matthews could choose to be on Team United States, for example. I forget if teams like are drafting technically. Well, like, for example, Canada, US, and North America, or I forget if it's the team that's like, yo, I'm America or Team Canada or US or whatever. Obviously, if they're a US citizen, they can play on either US or America, not choose to play on Canada. Jake Allen in a 7th for a 2023 and 7th. Great trade. Jake Allen's looked incredible in my opinion. 2023, Dylan Peterson. At 2027 is Chase Bradley. Those are kind of whatever right now. Joel Edmondson's trading rights for a 2025. Great trade. Edmondson's look good. Max Domi a 2023, which is Samuel Kutzko for Josh Anderson. Anderson's been fantastic this year. Domi's not looked great at all this year. Big win for us right now. And in this, in my opinion, possibly could be one of our biggest fleeces yet. I'm not going to say it absolutely is, but it could be a 2020 second to the Tampa Bay Lightning, Jack Finley, for a 2021 second, still to be announced. Sorry, it sucks for the Olympics because of this can very well be the last. Yeah, man, definitely. It definitely sucks. Yeah, I would love to see Hyman, Mitch, and Crosby, Marchand on Team Canada for sure. High quality. That'd be nuts. And in 2024, that became a little known guy called 90 points in 50 games in the UHSL, Sean Farrell. That's a nutty trade. San Jose acquired a 2024 Braden Coe for a 2021 third. That's a win for San Jose purely because we don't know who that player becomes for the 2021 third. Couldn't it be better? Couldn't it be worse? Chicago, 2027 for a 2021 7th win for Chicago because we know who the player is. Montreal, we don't yet. So technically, yeah, I mean, I don't know if I'd say Crosby got famous from the 2010 Olympic gold, but he got more well-known. Eric Stahl for a 2021 3rd and 5th. That's a win for us because we don't know who the picks become yet. They could end up becoming the next Eric Stahls, or they could end up being busts, for example. So yeah, even with Stahl not playing great, it's a win for us right now. And then the final 2 trades, and then we're going to get out of here because I've been streaming for nearly 2 hours, and I don't want to be live for 2 hours. John Merrill from the Red Wings for Verbeek and a 5th. I've liked the trade so far. It's a win for us, in my opinion. And Eric Gustafson for 2022 7th. Obviously, could end up being a steal for Philly, but I like Gustafson. He's point per game, 2 points in 2 games. I think that's a win for us. So yeah, overall, we have a really good record. In the last, what was it? We just did 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, I think. That was a legendary. Oh yeah, that was a legendary win for the Olympics. He deserves all the credit for sure. And I wouldn't say all the credit. Absolutely, I'd say a lot of the credit though, because Jerome Iginla. If you guys have ever gone back and looked at that goal, seeing Iginla like on his knees, being able to pass the puck to Crosby with 2 guys still on him, that takes skill. Like that's absolutely part of that. Part of the credit definitely goes to again, although no Intertab. We're not staying for 1 more hour. My voice is dead. I should have been off like 20 minutes ago. Yeah, man. The Merrill deal will end up being a loss because of how good Yzerman is. I've accepted that already, but we'll find out. We'll see in the future for sure, though. We'll see. So yeah, guys, that is going to do it for today's stream. Like I said, I'm going to do a very, very quick outro. Fuck me. I'm just ruining Jeff's name on the dono board. I'm really sorry. Not dono board. I'm sorry. Sorry, Jeff, if you're in here and lurking. I'm going to fix that real quick before stream ends. I'm not left-handed. Fuck it. No, we're Tap. We're ending in 2 minutes. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and include, but that's not limited to YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, turning on spend as a race. Subscribe to the playlist, subscribe to the club, subscribe to the SubHub, subscribe to the SubHub. If you're a member of the Mod Squad, do you think Bergeman's doing a good job? If you, why are they in the bottom half of the league standings? Newbie, it's not on Bergevin if the coach and players are not performing up to snuff. How many times do I have to say this for you to understand? Why doesn't this team have a player in the NHL Fantasy Top 100? Newbie, what the fuck does the fantasy have to do with this? Jesus Christ, Newbie, I'm going to end before I get a fucking headache from arguing with you. Jesus. High quality, thank you for coming by to the stream, man. Greatly appreciate it, buddy. Thank you for coming by, man. Yeah, guys. Also, isn't Carey Price in the top 100 despite being massively overpaid? And I know what you're going to say. Oh, that doesn't count because it's a goalie. Yeah, guys, thank you so much for coming by to the stream. Appreciate it a lot. The stream wouldn't be what it is without you guys. There's a reason I stayed here for fucking 2 hours. It's because I love you guys so much. Yeah, guys. Links in the description. Check them out. I'm not going to go through all of them because it's too late. It's too late in the night. But thank you guys. Good night, Intertab. Thank you guys for coming by the stream. And before we leave, why did Julian do a bad job too? He has a ring. He had a defensive style, and we just didn't really click with that defensive style, in my opinion, Newbie. Julian, yes, he has a ring. Defensive style just didn't really click the second time in Montreal, unfortunately, I would say. Man, thank you very much for coming by the stream, man. Guys, if we can get some Triple Heart Squad in the chat, boys, I'd absolutely love it. Thank you guys so much for coming by to the stream. I appreciate it. I love every single one of you guys that do. Whether you're lurking, whether you're watching, it means a lot, guys. Thank you all so much. I'm ending the stream now because I need to get rest. I need to get something to drink, something to eat. I need to just do something to get my voice prepared. So thank you guys. I will see you guys Monday after the Canadiens game. I love you all so much. My name is Harry Rice, and I am out. Stay classy, boys. Why don't we have the player? We don't have the players for Julian Style. Exactly, Newbie. We didn't have the players for Julian Style. Ducharme was supposed to be an offensive coach, but we didn't have. I guess we don't. Ducharme wasn't ready for a coaching job, in my opinion. Hey, Blaze, go Leafs. Go Habs, baby. That is going to do for today's stream, guys. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Harry Rice, and I am out. Stay classy, boys. Ale Morial. I love you all so much. Thank you guys for coming by the stream. Again, thank you all so much for 500 subs. That's still absolutely nuts. Peace, boys, and go Habs. Go, baby. Bye, boy.